turns to sun rays, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
G'day everybody, it's Seano again, and we're back for a Supercoach live stream. This is our round 13. We can do a team review if anyone's out there. I know it's in the morning and probably most people out there are working, so if you're watching this at a later date, I'm still going to have some really interesting information to come up in this stream. I think this is going to be a good one to watch. We're going to go through the buys. I'm going to go through the sneaky option that nobody's talking about, and we're going to have a chat and see how else we can see what else is going on in the land of Supercoach. So we have got the round 12 buy. Did I put? Is that what we've got written there? Round 12. It is round 12. The round 12 buy. Yes. For a second there, I thought I had put round 13 on the thumbnail, but it is the round 12 buy. Oh, why have we got a little chat box up here instead of... Oh, I know why. I know why. There we go. You can see our disgusting score and rank from last week. Shameful it is, but we've still got to put it up there. Better than seeing my chat box. Alright, so if you did miss my team or my trade video, we've got some stuff to go through about the trade video. We've done a bit more research, and I think I'm going back on a few things I've suggested. So I hope if you did watch my trade video, have a quick watch of this one, and we will and I'll go through what new things I've found out. A bit of a new worry about one of these rookies that we were looking to get. So I think it's important that the community is fully aware that the issues with probably the most popular rookie this week, there's a big issue, and we're going to go through that issue. So if we go, you want to see the dismal round that was round 11 for Seano. There we go. It was a pretty rough one, crew, I have to admit. Lowest score of the season so far, and dropped a massive amount of spots. So we're going to see how we go coming out of the buys. We've got a bit of a plan. If you do have your team, you'd like me to rate your team, not rate your team, but go through your team, maybe help out a little bit, or just show it off on stream. Just let me know your team and your rank, your team name and your rank, and we'll go through and we will have a look. So anyway, let's get straight into it. Just in case you don't want to watch this video all the way through and you want to get to the important information that I'm going to give you, here it is. So the rookie most people considering, if we would go to player research and go to cash cows, I know I was considering him this week. was Campbell Gray with a negative 52 break even. I believe it's the highest break even in the game. Looks pretty good, right? We need a rookie. He's a defence forward. So he's got that great DPP, the rare one. He looks really good and he looks like he's going to make some money. There is one huge problem with this rookie. Alright, so I did some research yesterday and I went back through the games and the team sheets over the last few weeks and the upcoming weeks. It seems to me that Campbell Gray is a direct swap in and out of the team for our naughty friend Noah Bolter, or should we call him Noah Basher, one of the others. So as we know, Noah Bolter was a naughty boy, got in a bit of a fight in the street, and the courts have said he's not allowed out past 6 p.m, like a naughty teenager. So that means any games in the evening, like last week, he can't play. And last week, Campbell Gray came in. So I had a look at the team sheets and it looks like he is a direct swap for Noah Bolter. Hey Thomas, how you going? That's exactly right, Thomas. I'm trying to get that out into the community. I only discovered this yesterday through a bit of research. He is a direct swap for Noah Bolter. So he will play this week. And then when I looked at the times of the games, I don't think he'll play again to round 17. Yeah, you're a Carlton fan and see it. I looked, if you go, anybody doesn't believe me, go back and look in the team sheets. So something else is going to have to happen for him to stay in the team. There's going to have to be another injury. I mean, don't get me wrong, the way my Supercoach season's going, there's going to be an injury to someone in the back line and he'll end up staying there and being one of the best rookies of the year. But he is, at the moment, a direct swap for Noah Bolter, which means he plays this round and then he won't play again to round 17, I believe. Yeah, I mean, he's only going to play the games which are in the evening, or I believe it start after 2 p.m, it looks like. I guess if the game starts after 2 p.m, Noah can't get home by 6 o'clock. He has to get on his push bike and try and ride home. But he can't make it home by 6 o'clock. So you're right. By the time you want to get rid of him, he's probably only going to go up 2 price rises. And if you wanted a rookie on the field for over the buys, he's just not going to be there. Yeah, I've got the same problem as you, Thomas. I also have Trainer. I think I have to get rid of him this week. I was super disappointed. I was disappointed or furious. Hey McLovin, how you going, buddy? I was super furious that they played Trainer forward. I kept him all this time and he lost 20k for us. So this is the dilemma, right? I was going to do, my only trade was pretty much going to be Trainer to Campbell, and now I can't do that. I know, yeah, now Pryor's killing it, right? Yeah, seems to be the way of this season, right? I've done that a few times. You know, I did it with Sam Powell Pepper. Went up to like 400k after I traded him out after that first week. There's been a few. There has been a few. I haven't been too bad, but there's definitely been a few I've missed. And I never got on Pryor in the first place, which I kind of wish I did. Lose a lot of points. I lost a ton of points, McLovin. I had a bad week. I did bring in Cooper Simpson, as you can see down the bottom there. I mean, he was my pick of the week, Thomas. We did my trade video. I'm like, pick of the week, Cooper Simpson, and oh my lord, yeah, what a disaster. The bench is looking disaster. Not only that, I brought in Tom Gross after looking at the team sheets, thinking he was going to get a full game in the midfield, and I put him on the field for an 8. How that was rough. Shea Bolton, I was a big fan. I was, well, not so much of the overall pick, but the price and everything. I liked it, and I was going to go there, and I didn't. So I'm kind of happy I missed that, but I was also going to get Rao, and I didn't do that, and he did quite well. So, yeah, it was a pretty rough week for me, really. Got to go at guts. All right, well, I've got this, while you guys are here, right? So there's a few people here, and just in case people want to watch the video and then take off, I've got a real smoky for you guys. It's not a rookie. It's a fallen primo from a few years ago that nobody is talking about. Now, this could be, if you're like me, right? So I'm so strapped for cash, and I'm probably at least 1 premium to 2 premium less than everybody else. And so we have to go shopping for some cheapos. Unfortunately, that's just going to be the way it is. Now, I've got 2 cheapos. One people are talking about a little bit, and the other one is even way more. Way more. Nobody is talking about this guy. People are talking about those guys. Nobody is talking about this guy. So, normally you might say you normally shop at Myer. It's not a kind of cheapo where you go and shop at, Kmart or Target for the week. We're talking, you're going to Good Sammy's. You're out at the $2 shop. You're at Good Sammy's. There's pretty much he's been thrown away, and someone else has picked him up and tried to sell him. So he is a mid. So I'm not going to keep you guys in too much more suspense, and I'll go through why I think he's a bit of a smoky. I am saying that a very much a smoky for not this round, but for the round after, because he's on his bye this round, is Sam Doherty. Now, before you guys have a heart attack, before you guys say, what do you think you're doing, Seano? Just hear me out. Look at this. He's at 386,800. Last week, he scored 118. His scores have been pathetic up to then. Absolutely pathetic. 67, 73, all the way down to 40. Last week, he got 118. Now, you're going to start him, Thomas? Well, you know where I'm going with this. So if we go to DFS and we bring him up. So if you guys have been playing Supercoach a few years like I have, you know what he is capable of when he plays that back role. So this year and last year, he's played a kind of a mid forward. And he's pretty much the same as a Whitfield or a Zorko, probably a Whitfield or like a Sheasel. If he has that halfback role that he had a few years back, he is an absolute Supercoach pick. He was one of your number 1 picks as that backline, racking up seagull type player. And if we have a look at DFS, let's go back to 2023 when he played. So 2023, he plays this halfback, this centre back sort of quarterback role. We're looking at scores. Look at all these green scores. 2022, 2023, 120, 114, 109, 119, 101, 123, 137, 143, 110, 136. This guy can score. In that role, this guy can score. Now, the big problem is, will he stay in that role? He's only played that role for 1 week. I have to admit, I don't know, is he replacing somebody else in that role? Have they given up? They put, was it Ollie Hollands back there for a while and tried that role? But last week, he went back to that old role. And the 2 weeks before, he played in the VFL, and he played that same role as well, the centre half forward? He got big scores in the... last week, they says he played wing, but he didn't play wing. Look at that. I mean, he was there on the wing a little bit, but he played that like half-back, running out type of role. So, I think it's dangerous, but it's desperate times call for desperate measures. And I might actually go there next week off the one game. What's his break even? Break even of 70, just because I need somebody cheap. Now, this could blow up in my face, but I need somebody cheap. And I'm thinking, if he has that same role, he could all of a sudden blow up. I guess it's quite likely he's going to blow up in my face, but I really hope that he keeps that role. He has an easy fixture. I mean, it really just depends on that role, doesn't it, Thomas? If he plays that role, he's going to score okay. If they put him back mid or like that mid-forward role, or he could even get dropped, I guess, then you're going to be not very happy and he's not going to get a good score. But just considering I need somebody cheap, and if he does have that he does have the runs on the board. I mean, we can't trust the coaches this year, but he does have the runs on the board. Last year, he wasn't given opportunity in that role. Back in 2023 and before, though, he was a Supercoach god. And so I'm willing maybe to roll the dice and hope that Carlton, with all their back injuries and things, they're going to give him a extended go. I mean, Thomas, did you say you're a Carlton man? You said you're a Carlton man, right? What do you think? Yeah. He's getting... Sarong or Heaney? Whoa. You're leaning Sarong? I think they're both... I think you're going to... let's see, McLovin. Joel Jeffrey as well. He's a nice little pod that not too many people are talking about. Thomas, you said Laird. I don't think I could go Stewart after his injuries this year, but he's pretty cheap. You could go a direct Stewart to Zach Reed. Laird, I guess, Laird's about 500-ish. 499. I think he's a nice pod. I think he's a nice pod that not many people... I think he'll be very consistent in his scoring. If only they'd put him back in the middle too, hey? Wonder why they didn't put him back in the middle when Crouch went down. Sarong or Heaney, I think Sarong's going to be more flatline. Like, you know what you're getting. You're getting 100 every week from Sarong. Heaney might be up and down, but he's got a huge ceiling. Heaney, if he comes out and gets 25 possessions and 2 or 3 goals, can get a massive ceiling. And I think if you're going the more potty one, I'd say Heaney's the more pot of the two, right? He has a lot of people started the season with Sarong. I don't know if a lot of people would start the season with Heaney. The only thing I worry a little bit about Heaney is that if you've got Mills to play more midfield, he didn't play too much midfield last week. He played a little bit of CBAs, but that's surely is going to increase, hopefully. For us, the little turd went and got himself suspended this week. He's probably not little compared to me. He's probably 3 times my size. But yeah, actually, you know what? I'll congratulate Mills for getting suspended because it works out for us, right? Now we get him after his bye, and he hasn't gone up money, I don't think. If he hadn't got suspended, we would have had to get him before his bye. I think that's how it works. Sarong and Heaney, so you're leaning Sarong. I think if you want to go the safe option, go Sarong. If you want to go the pod, bit different from everyone else, go Heaney. Nick Haynes. Oh. Nick Haynes from Carlton. Interesting. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, since round 7, lowest score of 89, 92, 89, 105, 102, 89, 450. I think it's a reasonable cheap option. I think that's a reasonable cheap option. Don't know much about him really, Thomas, but yeah, that's seems like a nice smoky. Thanks for that one. Jeremy Cameron for the West Coast match. You never want to bring in somebody for one match. He's a key forward. My rule in Supercoach is never bring in a key forward. Even when even last year they had GWS is the guy that used to play for Fremantle. I'm having a mental blank now. Killed it last year, and I still can't bring myself to bring him in. They're just too up and down, They can just always have that game where they get no goals, and it's a problem. Takes 12 marks a game. Yeah, that's pretty good. You never traded in Warner because you were worried about the Goulden Mills thing? Yeah, I think it's fair too. I mean, when all the midfielders in Sydney are back, it'll be like one of those other teams where they have a lot of good midfielders where some week one is going to do well and some weeks the other one's going to do well. How don't I have Neil? I wanted Neil at the beginning, and then I saw he kept on getting tagged, and I was just like, at the moment, I still think he's got that massive ceiling that I like, but I still worry about that tag, and he seems to be doing a non-selfish role this year. Last year he was a must-have. This year, almost take Dunkley over Neil. He doesn't get the tag as much, and he's got a higher floor. When he seems to just, on a bad game, he still gets around that 100, where Lachie Neale, when he gets that hard tag, he can pump out a 60 or a 70, which can really hurt. I mean, for a high premium player, but at the same time, he can smash 160, and not too many players out there can do that. So he's one of those ones where I think it's fine to go there, and I'm very tempted to go there myself, but you can get hurt. The last 3 scores against Essendon are monster scores, Thomas. I don't really take too much into how the player plays against the last team. Like, I had a bit of a chat about this in the last live stream. When you see a lot of other guys go, live streamers, they'll go and then they'll say, look how he's performed against this team in the past. I honestly think that doesn't mean jack. I really think it doesn't mean jack. A lot of it is depending on the ground. Why can't I see it for a change? Why can't I see? Normally you can see it right here. Upcoming opponent. Summary. Why can't I see it? So if it's just against that opponent, because you don't know, right? Last time he played that opponent, he might have had, they might have been missing their tagger. They might have been, there's so many variables of why, they could do well against that team. They could just have a good game. Who's to say it has anything to do with the team? They might have played the best team in the league and had a good game. They might play the Eagles. Like, everyone would jumped on, like last week, if you jumped on Dawson versus the Eagles, awesome, he did really well. But a few people were doing the same, like, they had Zach Merritt versus the Eagles and he got bugger all or something. Wasn't it the same? Or, it's St Kilda, they had a few people on. So I think it's more about, you got to look into it a little bit deeper. Like, Dale is the perfect example. It's not about who he plays, it's about the ground that he plays at. If the ground, and same with Whitfield a little bit too, it's got nothing to do with who he plays, it's where he plays. Is it a big ground with a lot of room to run around the back and kick the ball around and get marks and get handballs and, do that run and kick and everything? That's what makes them good at those, against those teams, because they're on that ground. It has nothing to do with the team. So when they play the MCG, it doesn't matter whether they play Collingwood or St Kilda or whoever they play, Carlton, they like that ground because it's a big ground. If they play Sydney, it's not the fact that they don't like Sydney, it's the fact that they don't like it's a small ground up there at the SCG. So I think a lot of people read into that the wrong way. They just like automatically look like, this guy does well against this team, and I think that's a bit of a trap. Unless this year, it's like, if you got a good inside mid versus the Eagles, it's not so much that it's, it's just the fact that Eagles are shit this year. And as an Eagles supporter, that's hard to say, but it's just the way it is. And so the scores are going to be huge for the team against them if they slaughter them. So it's not even the fact that he does well against that team, it's the whole team is going to do well against score-wise. So, So, like, if Neil's last 3 scores against Essendon are those, does Essendon tag? Essendon doesn't tag, and that just might be the reason that he gets a big score for Neil. But I could say that, probably worth a sneaky VC if he's he's the earliest game, isn't he? I'd probably be having a go at both him as a VC and maybe Zach Merritt as a VC if you had those options. Oh, you traded in Jackson McGlovern. We were talking about it. I asked the other guy, Paris. Remember we were talking to Paris and he said he was like rank 30 something. And then he was chatting to, and he made a comment on one of my videos and I asked him if he traded in. He said he didn't. And that 163, that's awesome, mate. Well done. Surely there's no way they bring in Darcy. Well, you would hope not. They're a better team. Let's just face, they need to face it that they're better with Luke Jackson in the ruck. He is an absolute gun, and it's annoying that they are persisting with Darcy for Supercoach wise, because otherwise we would all just buy Luke Jackson at the beginning of the season and we'd all be happy. I tell you what, how about giving Darcy to the Eagles? We need a ruckman. Just let him cross against the park. Give him one of our jumpers and let him come on. We could do with Darcy. I mean, he's not. The problem is he's never on the field. I mean, I'd hate to see how many games he's actually played in the last 2 years. I'd assume it's probably less than 10 games in 2 years. I was on Levi Ashcroft, that's why nothing showed. Why wouldn't it show for Levi Ashcroft? Yeah, why isn't it showing? Why can't I see upcoming opponent? No, it should just give me the upcoming. Still should be here. Here we go. See this one. Here we go. Like Ryan Marriage. See, I wouldn't read. I'd never read into it going like, oh, he has about a game against North Melbourne, because you know he plays a completely different position now than what he would have. He would have been some like wingy dude here or whatever. Because he hasn't played against other teams twice. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, Thomas. That makes more sense than what I was making. Just sorry about this beat. It's just me turning the heater off because it's a bit cold. Game Kako has against Melbourne. I'm clicking all the rookies instead of the other guys. That makes sense now. I wonder where it went. Thanks, mate. Sometimes it does, like with Tom Green. Yeah, sometimes it does, but sometimes it doesn't. And that's the whole thing, Thomas. I don't think you can take that as gospel. I think you need to read into it a little bit more, except for this player plays well against this team. There has to be a reason, you know. He doesn't play well against Carlton because Carlton tag him, or Carlton play the ground he doesn't like or something. So, you know, I think people read into that very much. I don't look at it at all, except for basically grounds. I want to know the players who play better and you know, they might play better at their home ground. Like a lot of the Eagles in the past, you would say, would have had much better games at their home grounds than, you know, than over in the eastern states. And the same with, like, you know, Dockers and stuff. Like, it'd be much better to play here than eastern states. Yeah, but he didn't play. It's still not Sydney. Still not good for him though. If you actually do look at him, Sydney is not the great. It's not great for him, you know. So look at MCG 100 of 13. MCG only got 70 that time. ENS, is that Sydney these days? I still think, yes, that's the reason Whitfield's score is shit. But in general, you can look at that. Like Dale is the perfect example. Dale does shit on those small grounds. The bigger the ground, the better this halfback running role is. Never go crazy and get Richmond, but he could. There's no reason why he couldn't. That's just it. I still think people read way too much into it. Yeah, so that's it, Thomas. I pretty much pay almost zero attention to that. And when people say, when people are like picking their captains and stuff, and they go into that, I'm like, ooh, I think you're playing with fire to do that. It's okay to look at, but I wouldn't read into it too much. Jackson Sinclair, and he did. Yeah, they say, but then they said he was going to go big the couple of weeks before that, and he didn't. So if you say someone's going to go big every week, they're going to go big eventually. Again, do we know who he was rucking against? So if he was rucking against Marshall, what happens if Marshall was out one of these games? Like 180 points, we could go back and have a look, but was he rucking against Marshall? Or was Marshall injured and he was up against some, you know, other dude? That's the other thing you do, especially with rucks, you never know who he's against. But yeah, for me, when it comes to captain choice, you're just smacking it on one of those rucks. You can, yeah, we can check. You can go through and check. So that's what I mean. Don't just take this at face value. If you're going to, Gawn's pretty safe as a ruck, as your captain. I'm picking him as captain every week. Him or Sherry, whether they're in the side. But if you want to do a proper research, don't just read this. Go back and say, oh, he did good. Even though Marshall's not going to be... He'll crush Marshall this week. I assume that he will crush Marshall this week. I mean, Marshall didn't do very well last week against Wits, and that's Wits. And we know Wits is a very restrictive and a good ruckman. I assume that Max is going to crush Rowan, which is unfortunate because I've got Rowan in my team. I'm expecting another 80, 90 if I'm lucky out of Rowan this week. You can see how he goes against Melbourne then if you like. 73 points. The year before that he got 149 and 81. I'm looking at this score thinking that's probably what he's going to score this week, mainly because it's the max, not because of the ground. That's because of the matchup, the direct matchup with his opponent though. $52 headouts to 16, two from Marshall. Marshall had a really good year actually last year, and so that must have been one of his lowest scores of the year. Yeah. That 149 Max was carrying an injury. Woohoo. Oh, yeah, he got 16. And I would expect that will be similar this week. I expect Max Gorn's just going to monster him. I really found the Rowan Marshall... He's a bully. He bullies the ruckmen who aren't, big dudes or big, powerful guys. And the teams like the Eagles or Geelong who don't have like a big monster ruckman, he bullies them and that's when he gets the big score. So I expect this week the same as last week. Another hard matchup for him. I expect a small score for him and a good score for Gawn. And I think that's exactly what you've got to do with those predictions. You got to read into them. You got to read between the lines. So I didn't actually get to my second. So I don't know what you guys think about that Sam Doherty pick. Am I crazy? But I think I'm going to try it because I just don't have the money. We're going to shop at the old good Sammy's and we're going to pick him up and we're going to pray he holds that role. There's another guy who I kind of like who I didn't hear anybody until last night. I was listening to a few other podcasts. And they did mention him, but that was the first time I'd heard anyone mention Jai Caldwell. We had him last year as a forward mid, and he had a pretty good season last year. I mean, he had a pretty good season, and he had a good start to this season. He got 129 and 118, and he went down, and then 84. Then he came back from what looks like an injury and got a 61, then got a 40 in the week after, and then he got 119. Maybe this is the start of his run. You don't have to get on him this week because he's got a reasonable break even. He's got a break even of 97, so he's not going to go up too much, but I think he could be a nice cheapie option in your midfield as well. Like if you can't afford the big boys, obviously we all want the big boys, but this might be my plans to get Butters. As you can see, we already got Bont last week, which didn't really work out for us. But this might be the plan to get Butters in, to get a few of these cheapos, and because we just don't have the money with the Simpson injury, with the Soupson. Why do I keep going? It's Soupson. With the Simpson injury and with this disgusting rookies on the bench here, I think when I won't have the money, and I've got 16 trades, which might sound like a lot, but it's not. I was watching another stream, AFL stream, and one of the guys said when he comes out of the buys, he expects to have 4 trades. He has a full premium team, but he has 4 trades. Now I guarantee by the time the end of the season comes around, he will have no trades. There'll be injuries. 4 trades is nowhere. I mean, it's nowhere near enough. He might have a really big score coming out. He might have a really great team with a big score coming out of the buys, but it's just going to go, a couple of weeks. We have 1 week like we did, with the last week or the week before, where we had three big boys, the Jason Horne-Francis, the McRae. You have 1 week like that, all your trades are gone, and then you're pretty much screwed. And considering I'm, like we talked about last time, moving my focus towards winning my leagues, or the league I really am, it's important to me. I feel that I'm going to try and hold the trade. So this week, some dumb free kicks here. The matchups are terrible. I brought him in because he was so cheap. I've still been happy with him. Like, he's gone up 100k pretty much. I think I got him before 70. So, but for this flex position, I think it's fine for the moment. I did think the same as you, Thomas, that he had a bad matchup, but a bad run against some good players. I think he played Sherry in a few weeks too. But I think for his price, he's a guy who scored us 170 for 450. Yes, he got us 50 a couple of weeks later, but he's been brilliant so far. And I'm happy to, for that price, I'm happy to ride the ride the bumps. So 133, 112, 103. I got him in at 470. So he's got me 103, 179, and a 55. I'd probably get hopefully no more of these 50s, but it looks like he can drop those. But if he can get me closer to the hundreds, I'll be really happy with that pick at the end of the season. I'm not unhappy. Obviously it cost me last week, but everything cost me last week. Every decision I made cost me last week. So, that's one of the things. 1 week, the week he scores me 179, I'm going to crush the people I play against. The week he scores 50, I'm probably going to struggle. That's the one of these roller coaster rides, like the people that picked Shea Bolton last week, like the people who have gone. I think Raoul's a little bit more consistent. I still think Raoul is a good choice at a cheaper option as well. What do you guys think about Jai Caldwell? Any interest in Jai? You think he's as a cheapy option at 400 even if he gets 100 this week, he's still going to be around 430k. That's pretty cheap for someone. He's not a super primo, but someone we know who can put out big scores. He has last year. He's got some high. Even this year already, he's put out a 129 and a 118 and a 119. That's not bad, right? And last year, 2024. Let's see, not great at the start of the season, but then some 90s, 129, 100, then some low. He'll be a bit of a roller coaster ride as well by the looks of things. 100s, 80, 80. Then he had a really good last half of the season, like 115, 127, 134, 110, 192, 111, and 55, 100. So if he could capture that type of form again, that would be an absolute bargain. That would be an absolute bargain if he could capture that form again. So I'm considering him as well, but I think I'm going to go the Doherty, because he's cheaper, and 2, because he after the bye this week. So my plans, I was looking at the Gray Campbell. Now if you just joined the stream, let's talk about this again. Be very careful if you're going Gray Campbell from Richmond. He's a direct swap out for Noah Bolter being a naughty boy, so he's only going to play when Richmond play late games in the evening or late afternoon. Unless there's some type of injuries or something, that's the only time he's going to play. And he will be named this week because I believe their game starts at... it was already on the injury list that he's not playing this week, I believe. Keep an eye on the team sheets for that, but I think the game starts at 2:15, and that must be too late for... He can't get home on his push bike in time, Noah Bolter, to his parents' house for the curfew. So this week, I have decisions. Maybe you guys can help me. Because of my league, if we have a quick look at my league. So, like I said, the league is... sorry about the brightness. My league is this league here, the big league, the league that I run, is important to me. And I predict the win by quite a lot this week. Now, the guy hasn't... Shane, who I know quite well, is a great guy, really nice guy, having a rough year of it. first year in our league. A lot of these guys have been in the league for like 5-10 years, as long as we've been doing it. But this is his first year, and he's having a bit of a rough go at it, unfortunately. So he probably hasn't adjusted his team completely, but I've had a good look at his team, and I should win. So I should win. Unfortunately, he's got a lot of like unique players. He's got Luke Ryan, who can do anything. He did well for him last week, couldn't do anything. He's got Tracy. He's a Freo supporter, as you can see. He's got a lot of Freo players. He's still got Max Hall. He's got Oscar Allen. He's still got Flynn. He's got Harley Reid. He's got Connor O'Sullivan. He's got Buse. So he's got a lot of players that you wouldn't expect to do too well. And he's got a lot of people. He's got Erasmus, Dudley. So he's got a lot of these guys. Like some of these guys, he's going to be obviously going to be on bye, not playing. He'll be on the field. McRae. May any chance McRae plays? Probably not. So off the field, injured. So unless he trades his ass off, injured, yeah, that's he's going to have a rough week this week. So I should win this week, and I don't need to blow up my team, and I can save some trades for further down the track. I do need some money though. So, and I don't want to lose another 20k on trainer. Like we talked a lot about earlier, he played trainer forward and he got, why would you play trainer forward? We kept him and we didn't think we were going to lose that money. We thought, he's going to get us 50, 60 every week. He might lose a little bit, but not too much. 20k. And this week, he'll lose another. If he gets 55, he'll lose 10k. But what if he gets 35 again? He'll lose 20k again. I can't lose another 20k. So, and I can't see too many other options. So the only other option, there's only two options, and I kind of know which one I'm going to go. I like the McAuliffe option. If I had more trades, I'd definitely, and it was earlier in the season maybe, I'd definitely be going on McAuliffe. I should have gone there last week. I told everybody to go there last week. And so, I do make some good calls sometimes. So maybe the Doherty call is going to be a good call. But I told people to go there last week. I couldn't go there myself. Well, I should have gone there, but I couldn't, but I didn't. And, he did quite well. And he's playing in that inside midfielder there at Richmond. And you figure he's probably going to get a run in that position for a while at least. And so he's expensive, but for a playing high price, for a playing almost a mid-price or money, he's more of a money grab. He's not going to be a keeper unless your team's actually absolutely, struggling. Who do Freo play this week? Freo play Gold Coast at home, and Witts is Witts is one of the most restrictive ruckmen out there. So I wouldn't. But then Dacos plays Hawthorn. I don't know, does Hawthorn tag Dacos? Does Finn McInnes play and tag him? So I think either of them are fine as long as you're there, your VC into Gawn. Like, it's fine to have a swing at the fences with your VC as long as you've got the backup of a Gawn or a Sherry, I think. Like, Gawn is going to be fine if you could go out of the two, maybe. Oh, geez, I don't know. I think it's tricky. I think they're both potentially can go big or not. I mean, does Jackson get around the ground more than Witts? I don't know. Maybe Witts just sticks to him and doesn't let him get around the ground as much as he does against some of the other ruckmen. But it's a tricky one. I think they're both valid as long as they're your vice captain. Yeah, I think they're both. I also think in that first game, if you've got a Lockie Neal or a Zach Merritt, they are also both valid options. I think I'm just going to go Brayshaw. Every time I don't pick Brayshaw, he punishes me for a vice captain. So I think for my team, I'm just going to go Brayshaw into Gawn and be happy with that. So anyway, back to what I'm thinking for my trades. So originally when I did my trade video, I was saying that I might go Greg Campbell, but I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not taking that risk that, you know, basically you're hoping that somebody gets injured at Richmond for him to keep his position. I think I might actually just go early on the Essendon boy. I mean, the kid kicked 3 goals on debut. Essendon are doing great. Are you really going to drop a kid who kicks you 3 goals? I mean, surely not, right? So, literally, not because I like to go early or I think he's a guaranteed pick. I'm doing it because I don't want to lose another 20k with Trainer. And he doesn't bring me a new body on the field or whatever. You know, I could get him instead of Zach Reed or something, get extra body on the field. I'm just afraid that money is so scarce at the moment that I don't want to lose another 20k. You think he'll have a cardiac arrest? He might do. I mean, out of the two, it is tricky, but if I was you, go with the form. Why not just go with the form? Just chuck it on Jackson and see what happens. You know, the good thing with Jackson is, even if, you know, if they rest him up forward, he can still boot a couple of goals. You know, he still might, you know, maybe they take Whips off and they rest Jackson up forward and he boots a couple of goals on someone. He can still get a big score. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's a good forward as well. He's very dangerous in the forward line. He's probably one of their better forwards too. If only they had 2 Jacksons, they'd probably never lose a game. Yeah, so I mean, if I was you, I might just go with the form. Dacos is not in great form. He's getting tagged a lot. He does have some help come back this week. I believe Pendles is coming back this week. So it won't just be him and Ned Long as the 2 main men in the midfield. He's got a little bit of help coming back. So maybe that lets him get off the chain a little bit more this week. But I don't know, if I was you, I mean, Jackson, he's just absolutely killing it. Why not just play form? Chuck him on there, and, you know, he's playing for that number 1 ruck role. I thought it was pretty cheeky last week. The reporter after the game, I don't know if anyone else watched the Freo game. I'm over here in Perth, so we only get the Eagles in the Freo game if you don't have KO or something. But the first question the reporter asked him was, "Oh, you like playing that solo ruck role, don't you?" Like, that's cheeky as F. So cheeky. Like, basically she's saying, "Screw you, Darcy." Basically, she said, "Yeah, fuck you, Darcy. Jackson's much better than you. Do you think you're much better than Darcy, Jackson?" And of course, he was like, and I was surprised he wasn't even that diplomatic. He didn't even do, like, most of the time the players will say, "Yes, I just play where the coach wants me, and I do the team thing, and I play." You know, that's the standard answer that they all have. "I do the team thing, and I play where they want me, and, you know, I do the best for the team." But he was just like, "Yeah, I do like the solo ruck." I had to laugh because he was just like, "Yeah, I do like it." And I was like, all right. I was like, dodgy question though by the reporter, like shit stir question. It's trying to stir up shit between the Freo players. He did have 29 disposals in one half. Don't you worry, Dacos, people don't tag Dacos. He's the easy 150, 160 player on his day. You know, I remember you just watch those games where he just seems to be everywhere. You know, he'll get the ball and he'll handball it or kick it, and then he'll get it back, and, you know, he on untagged, Dacos is an absolute weapon. I don't really see why he's not tagged every single week, you know, unless you're a team like the Eagles where you're not going to win anyway. But even then, why not? I mean, if I, as an Eagles supporter, chuck someone on him here anyway, chuck one of our young mids on Dacos. They can, you know, just say, go and learn from that guy, you know, tag the shit out of him and learn. Watch what he does, watch how he runs, watch where he goes, and learn from him. So, I mean, he's a very valid option as vice captain. I would never put him as a straight up captain. I think the only safe straight up captains, as safe as you can get in Supercoach, are the rucks this year. Sherry and Gawn, they're very unlikely going to let you down. I mean, worst case scenario, they're going to get you an 80 or 90, which is still going to really suck. But it's a lot better than getting a 50 from a midfielder. And you thought West Coast were going to make the... You thought West Coast were going to make the finals? Man, I didn't think we were going to... Actually, let's be honest. Last year, we improved a little bit. We've had a disastrous 5 years, which all started with the COVID. I don't think... A lot of people just don't remember, as a supporter, when COVID first hit, the Eagles experienced something that no other AFL team had ever experienced. As long as the AFL, maybe even the VFL's been around, no team had ever seen that amount of injuries and people out every week through COVID restrictions in the history of the league. We were literally picking people up off the street. We were getting people out of the waffle that had never played in the team. You can't really play a team sport with half the team has never played together before. It was a real strange time for AFL, and our team was by far hit the most and the hardest. And I'm sorry for you Victorians out there, but I guarantee you, if it was a Victorian team like Carlton or something had been, they would have got the week off. They would have got to play later on. There would have been a massive ordeal. But with us, we just had to fucking cop it on the chin and deal with it, and we did. And ever since then, nothing has gone right, and nothing has been the same. Some of it's been trading, traded in Kelly when we probably shouldn't have. A lot of shit's gone wrong. But last year I felt like we made a bit of improvement, even though I wasn't sold on the Harley Reid pick, taking number one, because I thought then, I still think now, he'll go home in a couple of years. I just don't understand, why wouldn't he go home? If someone's going to offer him $2 million, his girlfriend, who plays for the female version of the AFL, the waffle, I forget what it's called. So his girlfriend lives over there, his family lives over there, and some team who's winning and's got a chance to win a premiership is going to offer him $2 million to come and play with them. Why wouldn't you leave? The only way we get him to stay here is if he breaks up with his girlfriend, he meets some hot Perth girl who doesn't want to move to Melbourne, and then they decide to get married and live here. That's the only reason he stays. Otherwise he's pretty much gone for sure. So I think, and we're not going to get, people are like, but you'll get some good shit for him. Yeah, you get picks and stuff, but you're not going to get a good player come over here. You're not going to get a player of his future caliber coming back. So I don't know. It was great having him in the team last year, and he looked really good. He looked better than this year, let's admit. So him and a few of the players we picked up made the team look better. This year, unfortunately, with a new coach, the coach is really just... I'm not impressed so far. He's got a shit game plan. He's got a shit plan for a shit team, and it's just not going to do us well. McGlovin, that's it. Like, you see what I see. Like, playing Oscar Allen in the back line is just one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. Oscar Allen could be one of the best forwards in the league. He's still kind of young, and he's got the potential. Now, and with Waterman, the breakout of Waterman, and we've still got, others. Our forward line is pretty good. Our back line was very good last year. We had a few retirements and stuff, since Hearns left, and a few other we lost, Barras. Our back line was really good last year as well. It's just the midfield. Midfield's a big problem. Midfield and ruck. We haven't had a ruck since Nick Nat Nui, unfortunately, and that's been a big problem. If you look back in the Eagles' history, we've almost always had a really good ruck. Like, we've had some of the best rucks ever. We've had Nick Nat, we've had Dean Cox. Before that, I forget, we had the one before that was really good too. Like, the rucks that we've had are some of the best to ever play the game, and we just haven't had that in the last, since Nick Nat left, we haven't had that. And that, combine that with an average midfield, means not winning games. But this year, yeah, I think it's gone backwards, and I actually think it's a lot not to do with the players, but it's gone backwards a lot to do with the coach. Throwing people around in the wrong positions, dropping them after 1 week. You know, there's no team build. There's no team this year. Anyway, that's probably enough about the Eagles. I'm going to have a 2-second break, crew, and I'll be right back. If you watch this, I'll be right back. Don't go away. Won't be long.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways. And on we'll go.
Sorry about that, crew. Sorry about that. Just had to get a quick drink and have a quick break. You think Saints are out of their mind for offering TDK that much? I mean, he looked really good at the beginning this year. On this year's form, the beginning you'd think, maybe, but he hasn't been great the last couple of weeks. Maybe he's carrying an injury or something, but yeah. Unfortunately, as the Eagles have discovered, you need a good ruckman. You need a good ruckman. I mean, I guess that's not completely true. Teams like Geelong have done really well without a great ruckman for a lot of years. I mean, so maybe that's not exactly true, but I know looking at my team, I'd kill for a good ruckman. We'd kill for a TDK over here at West Coast. Sam Walsh could be going to Geelong. Oh, how the fuck does Geelong get all these good players go there, or they get a great draft? Have you seen Geelong's run for the rest of the year? Fuck me. They almost won. They finished almost win a premiership last year. Fucking, they've got a run. A dream run for the end of the season. One of the easiest runs. Like, how the fuck is that fair in the fixtures? Yeah. Anyway, that's enough about the Eagles, crew. Enough about me crapping on about the Eagles. How's your team going, McLovin? What did you score this week, buddy? That's probably why. Still though, run home, like, wow, it's a nice run home. Once you prefer to have a hard run at the beginning, when you get your team sorted out, get your plays in, you get in form, and then you snag a few games here or there, and then you run home. Beautiful. 2-4-2-8. Fuck, that's so nice, mate. That's a huge score. I think you told me in the chat actually. That's massive score for last week. Very well done, buddy. Very well done. I'm hoping for around 2K this week. Predicted 1949. I think anything over about 2001 is going to be a good score. If you get around 2200 this week, that's going to be a big score. Rank 220, that's very nice, McLovin. Very, very nice. Well done, buddy. Well done. Not like me, I dropped 3,000 spots this week. But I didn't really get to what I was going to do, crew. I think this week I'm going to go early on the... I don't like going early Actually, I hate going early, but it's either go early or lose 20k. Now, this has pretty much backfired every single time we've... Actually, every time we've done... Actually, I went Cooper Simpson early, which he got me a score, so and then he backfired. I think for me, this is the only trade I'm going to do this week. Now, I've seen a lot of other content creators go crazy, like doing 3 trades this week. Normally, this is the week where you don't trade, or you trade only for money. Zach Reed and Huss wait out for Dacos and Sarong and Gray. Does it... And are you going to get Gray? I'd be very worried about Gray McGlovern. He's not going to play. He'll play the 1 week, and then he's not going to play. He's just a straight swap for Bolter. If you want to go there because you need the cash, fine. He's got that DPP, which is really nice, but he's going to be a dead rookie. When I looked at the games, if there's no injury and nothing changes, so he'll play this week, he'll make some money, and then he won't play again to round 17. Noah Bolter is available to play all of those rounds. They're all day games. So Noah Bolter will play all those games, and then he'll play another game in round 17. And that's why I'm not going there. Now, knowing my luck, for you should probably go him, because if I don't go him, it means there's probably going to be injury in the back line, and Noah Bolter will come in and he'll keep his position. But if you look at the team sheets, he's a direct swap for Noah Bolter's position. So, every time Noah Bolter's out, because he's not allowed out after 6 p.m, Gray's going to come in, and then when Noah Bolter comes back, Gray's going to go out. So I'd be very worried about doing that. And how is this going to hurt your buys, buddy? Have you had a good look at your buys? So the week after, you're getting Sarong, but Sarong's going to be on the buy the week after? Yeah, it's not that he's going to get dropped or he played well. It's just the fact that's just the spot. The spot he plays is Noah Bolter's spot, and Noah Bolter will play that spot. I think Richmond just think he's the number out of the 2. They play the same spot, and he's their preferred player. So he'll come back in round 17. That's my prediction. He will play this week because Bolter's not allowed to play, and then you won't see him again to round 17. So that's fine if you're happy to have a dude on the bench with the swappy, DPP availability, but who's not playing. I just can't afford to have any dudes who aren't playing anymore, and that's why I'm going to take this risk on Clark and just pray that he plays, and pray that, he scored 3 goals to get this score. He's bound to get a 40 this week. He's on debut and he scores 3 goals. He's not scoring 3 goals every week. He's going to be lucky to score 1 goal in a week. I'd be surprised if he gets 50 this week, but I just don't want to lose 20k. This is basically, I don't want to lose 20k, and I'm hoping that he's going to go up. In the same thought, I could just get Gray and get 1 pay rise and think, well, hey, at least I've got a pay rise. If Clark comes out and gets injured, this could really bite me on the bum even more than getting Gray. You have 5 to 6 Saints and Freo players going to be out for round 13. I mean, if you're comfortable with that, yeah, you're ranked 220, so I can see the value in doing it, trying to get a high. But the problem I have with what you're doing and what a lot of contract creators are doing, I don't see why not just hold this week and then get the players off the bye. So this is my plan. So you're in a higher rank than me, and you want to move up in rank. So we kind of have different things that we want to achieve. But not only do I save trades by only getting in the rookie for the cash this week, then I have a plan. Where is my plan? So I got my plan ready for you guys. I know it's pretty bright. It's like Seano's white enough already without making him any more white. But so pretty much I said no rounds pre-round 12 except for money. So next week, I target Rosie or Jason Horn-France if he comes back, Doc, who we talked about, or Jai Caldwell. Now, Rosie, JF, Horn-Francis and Doc all come off their bye. So I know I'm going to have that premium through all the buys. So I still think this, no matter your situation or my situation, is the best play, is to just take it easy this week. You know, if you don't, especially if you don't have a million trades, if you said to me, I've got 22 trades, I'd like, do it, go for it. If you tell me you've got probably 17 or less trades, I'd say, why not just hold this week? You're not going to drop that much. You know, you're not going to, the score variance between the top score and the lowest score, being the top 18, is not going to be that great. So the only thing is that makes me, your positions with that little bit difference, you're higher up, but you are bringing in players that aren't going to play. If you could set it up so you bring in players that after their buys, who are going to play through the rest of it, you'll get your score. You might not get the score that you want this round, but in the coming rounds, I reckon you'll get those points back. But it's so I'm the same as you, right? If you look at my trade targets, so this week no trades except for cash, I should have put here. So I'm doing the trade for cash, and then the week after, Rosie, Horn-Francis or Doc, let's not say Jai for the moment. I haven't got Butters there because of his price, because of his break even. I've got Butters in the next line. I want Butters to play that one game, that round 13 game, and drop another, down to, he's going to be down around the, let's have a look, not the Butont. I don't need the Butont fund anymore because I've already got Bont now, so I can stop saying a Butont. So if Butters comes out, round 13, gets 100, he's going to go down 40k. Say he gets 120. Say he gets even if he gets 140, he's still going to go down 20k. So he's going to be around between 140 to 160. Plus he might get the Bedford tag in that round. That round he comes back, that's a Bedford tag. So he could get 100 again. He could get this score again. He could get lower. So round 14 is where I'm looking for Butters. Again, that's one of the reasons I would, if I wasn't so money strapped and I had more trades, I'd be seriously looking at the Kay McAuliffe from Richmond, getting him in as a high price rookie to play on field and to make money. But I don't at the moment with 15 trades after this trade. It's just not enough. My team is definitely not going to be full primo coming out of the buys, and it's not going to have all the primos that I want. I'm going to have to live with like a few of these sneaky picks, like a Jai Caldwell or a Doc, and if they work for me, great. But they're going to be rounds in the future after the buys with my team where people have like Jordan Dawson who scores 150, and I'm going to have Jai Caldwell who scores 100, and they're going to beat me, which is just going to be the way it is, and I'm just going to have to live with that. But so back to my plan. So this JF Horn-Francis and Rosie will also be really cheap. Doc, I might be able to do a downgrade for a rookie, hopefully, and then 2 upgrades for like Rosie and Horn-Francis next week. That's a possibility if I can find a good rookie to go down to. McRae, then the week after, like Butters is probably the one, but there's also McRae could be back, Jordan Clark or Nasiah. Are all going to be really good value in those rounds once they pass their bye. The week after that is Callum Mills, and Callum Mills are probably, I'm going to have to, live with him. I might even have to do a Coleman. I'm not super happy with the Coleman pick, but now that Zach Merritt's gone down, Zach Reed's gone down, that might just be the way I need to go to get money. And then potentially round 16 targets, you can have Dawson, and then after round 17 you can Dunkley, Merritt, or the Tom Greens of the world. But I think these are the important ones for me. Next 3 trades probably next week after the lockout, to try and get at least 2 of these guys in, and then the week after that make sure I've got enough money for Butters, which should be upgrades from people like Ashcroft and Lindsay and Cleary. Unfortunately I don't know. I can only guesstimate the score for you, McLovin. I can't. I don't have the thing where you can punch in the numbers and it tells you the new break even, so that's a bit hard for me to work out. Like I've told you guys, but many times before, it's easy to work out how much you can work out the money without that extension. I don't know why I looked for the extension and I couldn't find it, even with the help of the good old centre bounce gentlemen. I love the centre bounce boys, and they told me how to go and get the extension, and I still couldn't get it. So the easiest way for the money is easy. So he's predicted to get 100. It's going to go down 40k. So his break even's 196. So anything he gets over 100. So every point is worth $500. So if he gets 500, if he gets 120, say 125, that means it'll be 10k. It'll be 10k. It'll only go down 30k, if you know what I mean. And if he only gets an 80, it'll be 10k the other way. He'll actually go down 50k. So around about within 1,000 or so, it gives you a close, easy way to work out how much money they're going to go up and down depending on, what is predicted here over their break even. So as for what that resets their break even to the week after, I don't have a way of working that out, unfortunately. I just assume it's going to be big. So if he gets 100, they're going to say it's going to be 120 the break even. If he gets 80, maybe just chuck a 20 on top of that. It's going to be like 140, 150. And if he gets 120, 140, maybe it'll be around 100 his break even. That's my best guesstimation, but that's just purely guessing. Whereas the other way that I work out is the math. It used to be exactly $500 per point, but now the team value and stuff have changed slightly, so it's a little bit off now. So it's a bit harder to work out. You think that's it? Yeah. So next week, so I did the trade to Clark. I still think the Gray trade is reasonable, but I just don't want another non-playing rookie on the field. And Clark could end up being a non-playing rookie on the field, but on the bench. But he scored 3 goals. I mean, give him a couple of weeks. The only problem is if he gets injured. If he does a Cooper Simpson and comes out and gets injured, like I went early on Cooper Simpson, then that's going to be a problem. But then if he gets injured, he's going to be like, Gray will come back eventually. The one thing I like about Gray is his flexibility, the ability just to chuck him in the forward line or chuck him in the back line. When I was doing my team movements for the next few weeks, it really helped. Unfortunately, I just don't want a player that's only going to play when Noah Bolter's not playing. So anyway, so that'll be this week, and then next week, so we'll have 185k in the bank. So like we said, next week it'll be either Rosie or Horn Francis, which I think I'll probably do, or Doherty. So what I'll probably do is do something like, the cheeky way, we can go almost a direct. Hopefully we'll have another rookie available next week. And I'll be able to go something like Zach Reed to Rosie and one of these guys, somebody somebody who's a rookie, hopefully someone like a Huswaite. I'd love to be able to go like Reed to Rosie, Cleary down to a rookie, and then like a Huswaite up to a Doherty. Then I get a Doherty on the field and a non-playing rookie off. Yeah, I always thought he's always looked pretty good. I know the Eagles were looking at him, so if he didn't play all last year, he'll be 99k. I think anyone who hasn't played, is that how? Maybe it's anyone who hasn't played AFL at all is 99k. Maybe he'll be more than that. He'll still be dirt cheap. He'll be no more than a bargain place. None of them will be more than a bargain placed rookie. I think, as long as they didn't play last year. If they played last year, that'll be a problem. If they didn't play last year, I think at maximum they'll be like this one, like the 113, and there'll be quite a few that'll be 99k. Hopefully we get one of those guys. And then the problem is though, in Geelong's team, you think Geelong's going to go him again? Geelong's the one that let him go. He might go to somewhere else. Like, I know the Eagles were looking at him. I don't think we're going to go him in again, though. He's not really the type of player we need, I don't think. I think there's a midfielder that they're looking at. GG for Gross and Clay Hall if they bring in a midfielder. Nah. But, I mean, really, so that's at the end of round 12. That's the end of this week. 12 to 13 that the mid-season buys happen, right? So after this round, and then potentially they can play in round 13, but it's probably closer to round 14. When he was playing, yeah, he always looked good. I always thought he looked good. So I would not be surprised if he gets picked up by somebody. We really need this. We really need, some of these lower teams like the Eagles and North Melbourne and Richmond to, even maybe a cheeky ruckman from Essendon. Essendon were looking at a VFL ruckman they were talking about. That could be good. Imagine if Essendon got in a 99k ruckman. We could dump Boyd, or I could dump Marshall and go use that money somewhere else if I wanted to do something crazy like that. But because they desperately need a ruckman. The Eagles desperately need a ruckman too, but I don't think we'll be getting one. But so I think we got to pray that kind of happens, and I can't really see any other rookies on the horizon besides Clark at the moment for the week after. I really feel like I'm going to get punished here again, that Gray's going to play and then some injury is going to happen to the Richmond back line, and then he's going to hold his position in the team, and Clark's going to go out and get injured or get dropped. That bald guy for West Coast. BJ Williams, he's not a ruck. He's just not a ruck. He's a forward. Yeah, he's a forward. He's not great as a ruck. He's a great guy, and he's actually, you know what? He showed a bit when he's played with Flynn as a forward. He's shown a bit as a forward. I kind of like him as a forward. He's done all right, but as a ruck, he's just not big enough. You need a monster. You need a monster or someone who's very big and mobile, and neither of our boys seem to be able to do that. Flynn is definitely better than Williams in the ruck. I don't care what anybody says. He's a proper ruck. He's just not that great against the big boys and the monsters of the league. It looked good against Briggs. He probably matches up okay against Briggs. He's very mobile. He's just not big enough. He gets no hit-outs. None. no hit-outs. Which, unfortunately, when you've got a shit midfield and a ruckman gets no hit-outs, your midfielders don't get the ball, which makes clearances really hard, which means the forwards don't get the ball and they don't kick goals. And it means the poor backman, every 5 seconds, the ball's flying back in there. Yeah, he's a decent forward. He could even be a really good forward if he gets a good roll at it, but he's just not big enough to be a big monster ruckman. He just can't compete against the big boys of the league. these days you need a monster or a big dude that's very mobile, and he's neither, unfortunately. Which is not his problem. That's not his role. He's just been filling in. He's been, ever since Nick Nat went down, he's just been helping out basically, and that's why we got Flynn, because we needed a ruckman, and unfortunately Flynn's been injured to this year, and he wasn't getting a chance. Minnie Walter didn't give him a chance. Now he's had a chance for a few weeks. We've seen he can do all right. He's still not a monster, but he's still, a legitimate ruckman. So I think, as for Eagles, we need to persist with Flynn. He needs to play ruck, and I don't mind playing the both of them together. I think give Bailey Williams a nice consistent run as a forward, especially now Waterman's out. Give him Waterman's position. Let him play there every week. You look like a 150 average guy. When Merritt was playing halfback, yeah, that halfback role, it's so good. I wish coaches would stop fucking around with it like they're doing with Whitfield and Sheasel and stuff. Just let them play the role. So that's my kind of plan anyway, crew. We'll take this risk this week. Hopefully it doesn't blow up in our face. And then we'll try and get in those boys. Try and get in probably out of Rosie or Jason Hall-Francis. I probably prefer Rosie, even though my back line is kind of done. I'll just play him in the midfield. Jason Hall-Francis, he's super cheap. He's at under 500k. I think he's 499. So if he comes back, that's fine. It might be a case if I might not be able to afford Rosie or or Jason Hall-Francis. I might have to go Doherty and Jai. Yes, I know Jai has the bye coming up, but I'm not too bad in the round 16 buys. A lot of people are really rough in the 16 buys. So it looks bad here, but both Ashcroft and Kako won't be here. So I've only really got Bailey Smith, Zorko and Whitfield, which are going to be there. And so if I got Caldwell for Reed, even though these Essendon boys will be there, the back line will be a little bit rough. But if I get Caldwell, if I swap someone like a Sinclair back there and get Caldwell here, he'll be the only midfielder out that I have in the midfield. So I think there's some sneaky options. If you're like me and I think for people like you, McLovin, who are going for the top score, they're very risky, and I probably wouldn't go there. If you're like me and you're desperate for cash and you're not going to get a full primo team, and I think they're very valid picks. Yeah, I mean, they're saying 4 to 6 weeks, but he's got that history. So, you want to, at 4 weeks, I would think the fact it's the buys, you can hold people during the buys. And I think this year you can hold people more than ever. But again, maybe not at your rank. At your rank, maybe just move him on. How many trades you got, McLovin? Have you planned how many trades you think you're going to have when you come out of the buys? I'm thinking, what's your team name? What's your team name, McLovin? Do you mind if I bring your team up on the stream? Oh, you've told me this. You told me this, yeah. I wrote it down. For a second then I was like, Gone Fishing, he's number 1. What rank are you? And you said you were at rank 250 something? 220. Anyone watching, if you want me to do this, I'm happy to do it for you. You're gone. Patrick. Here we go. Your back line looks awesome. Your midfield looks really good. Rucks are brilliant. You got Marshall as well here, Cleary there. Yeah, you look really good. So, and your plans were Dacos, you're getting rid of Zach Reed, Simpson as well, and Huswaite. Simpson, Zach Reed and Huswaite. Zach Reed on field, Huswaite. 2 rookies and an on-fielder for Gray, who's going to hopefully not be on the bench for you. Dacos and Sarong. All of a sudden, Dacos and Sarong appear. That looks really good. Your team will look really good that way. You still have your one rookie here, Gray, I assume, or you're getting Gray down here. Maybe you're getting Gray for Simpson. Maybe you're getting Gray for Simpson. Zach Reed and Huswaite. Yeah, nice. That seems good. If, probably, I don't know. If you maybe Fielding Gray is fine. Maybe Fielding Gray is fine. Yeah, your team looks really good, mate. You look like you're in a really good spot. So yeah, this week you're missing Dale. You don't have any Port players, which is nice. You don't have any other Bulldog players, which is nice. You've got Sarah, so you're missing Sarah. So that's only 2 out. Oh, you got Daniel and Sherry. And Sheasel. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out this week. And with those players that you get in, you'll be getting a Dacos and Sarong. You're not getting out anyone who's not playing, but you'll get a Dacos and a Sarong, which will allow you to pretty much replace those 2 for this week. So you'll have quite a lot of premiums on the field, which will be nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for your replacements. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We'll count Masters of Premium. 15 Primos. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Holmes goes, so you're getting rid of Reed and going to D6. And then you're still playing one of the Ashcrofts or Lindsays there. Yeah, nice. Having Ashcroft or Lindsay as your last upgrade or your last on bench seems a very sweet move. Yeah, you seem at least 2 Primos up on my team. That's what happens when you blow your team up to get Bont in your team and stuff. When you do the dodgy stuff like I do. But yeah, your team looks really good and you look like in a really good position. You got 12 trades though if you use 3 this week, yeah. So you're in the same. How many do you think you'll have when you come out of the buys? Because buys finish at round 16, so then you're going to make 8 rounds to the end of the season. I mean, you're tempted to want 1 trade a round. I mean, that's going to be more than a lot of people have. But just to cover for injuries and things, I mean, if you're willing to go for the fences, just get your full primo and then pray you don't have any injuries, fine, go for it. Probably about 5, to be honest. I mean, in your kind of position, I think I'd do it. And then if you drop off at the end of the season, so what, right? You went for it. You're at this really good position. You're going for it. Maybe you want to be top 100, top 50. Maybe potentially you could even be better than that. Coming out of the buys, if you have a really good run in the buys and you find yourself like in top 100, you're in with a shot. The buys aren't gonna make or break a lot of people. It's gonna be the soon as they hit after the buys, and then it's going to depend a lot on injuries and stuff too. So if you come out of the buys full primo and you hit no injuries to the end of the season and you get to like the finals and you've still got like 4 trades left or whatever and you can do a few sneaky sideways or whatever, awesome. But if you have a week like we did where there's a disaster, where there's 2 or 3 injuries, in your around 18 or 19 or 20, you might end up with zeros on the field. But I think if I was in your spot, I'd be, going for it. I think I would be going for it if I was in your spot. So 5, it doesn't sound ideal, but Yeah, 490. And looking at your team, there's no reason that your team can't catch some of these other teams. Like, the only issue is probably teams are fairly similar this year. I don't see too many points of difference in your team. Ash is probably one that a lot of people in that top couple of hundred don't have. I think a lot of these, almost all the other players, I mean, you kind of have to pick them because they're good. Like Jackson, probably a lot of people don't have Jackson. If Jackson works out for you, and Ash start going off, that could really drag you back. You know, you could really move up the ladder. But yeah, your team's looking really good, mate. You've had an awesome season already. No matter what happens from now on, you've had an awesome season already. And, you know, just think about it. You're in 220. There's 190,000 people playing this game, and you're in 220. You take that in any type of competition or whatever. That's a massive achievement. No matter whatever you're doing, if you're up against 200,000 people and you finish, you know, inside the top couple of hundred, that's, you know, that is amazing. So whatever happens from now on, you've already had a brilliant season. And I see nothing wrong with your team. Your team looks awesome. I kind of wish I had your team. And I think you're pretty set up. You got players with really high ceilings. You know, Sinclair, Whitfield, even Ash, Dale, all have really high ceilings. Clark, Mr. Consistent. Dunkley has a high ceiling. Merritt has a high ceiling. Holmes has a high ceiling. Sheasel, if he gets back his old role, has a high ceiling. Even Shearer has shown that he's got a high ceiling the last couple of weeks. Gorn and Sherry, obviously, we don't need to talk about them. Smith has a high ceiling. Jackson has a high ceiling. Petrarca can go big. So, you know, you got Daniel who's come back a little bit. Marshall has a high ceiling. So you have potential to blow rounds out of the water. Yeah, I mean, I remember you told me this. For your first season, you might be the best. You might finish better than any other first season player ever. I'm not sure if that's a thing. Maybe someone's moved over from the other time of playing fantasy, but I made a few stupid trades earlier as well, but I think we all did, right? And I think we all came in with a bit of we're all a bit fancy on the mid prices. I've already got my plans for next year. I don't know about you, crew. Like, you're still in it for this year. I've given up on high score, like, except for winning my league, for getting a really good, like, at one point, like last week, I was thinking I might be able to finish top 1,000. I don't think I'll finish top 1,000. I'm kind of thinking that I might finish top 10,000 now, and I'll still be happy with that. Anything in the top 10%, like I said, like 220 out of 100, out of 200,000 people is amazing. I'm thinking that if I finish in the top, 20,000, that's still top 10%, and that's still pretty damn good. I mean, Ash he's got that same role as Whitfield, so he can ton it up and go big on any day of the week. And most of us went Whitfield, not too many people went Ash. So you've got that nice. You do have a few pointer differences there, which is nice. And maybe, depending on what happens when those last couple of trades next week or the week after, like you're getting two people that most people are going to, are going to want. You've also got Butters in the plan. Maybe your last midfielder needs to be someone, if you're pushing that top 100 or whatever, needs to be someone that the others don't have. Whether, I can't really pick who that's going to be at the moment, but just someone who's low owned if you want to catch it. So you just sent it. Yeah, it's a good pick. You got to be a little bit different. Like, even with my team as a bit cookie cutter, it's not great, and it's a cookie cutter team. So for me to drag up places, it's going to be hard. Carroll to Clark. Oh, the downgrade Clark, yep. And Ashcroft to Bont, yeah. So then you've got Bont, you've got Butter. So that's your midfield full, right? Dunkley, Merritt, Holmes. Holmes goes to the back, so. Yeah. Oh, what a brutal backline. I'm hoping that I can potentially take Huswaite up to Doherty. That's what I'm hoping happens. It might have to be like Cleary up to Doherty. That's my big thing about getting Doherty. Not because I think he's a safe pick, but because I feel like I might be able to get a rookie off the field by going, up to Doherty from one of these prices if I can bank some money next week. I mean, I would love to go Gray this week, like you, and then what's his face, Clark next week. I just can't. I just don't want to waste a trade for a guy who's not going to be playing and not making any money. But he will make. See, the thing is so divided. Like, yes, but then he will make money around. He'll make some. At least he'll make some money, and then he'll make some more money when he plays round 17, and you'll be able to swap forward and back. But he's not going to make me any money in rounds 13, 14, 15, and 16. For 4 rounds, he's probably not going to make me any money. Campbell Gray. Yeah. Then you have the 4 rookies in the midfield: Dacus, Sarong, Bont, and Butters. Feel that. I think that's what a lot of players are going to be going for. Sarong might be your... How highly owned is Sarong? He sounds like he might be your pod in the... He might be your pod compared to other people. Actually, let's do it up here. Game player research. Sarong. Wait. What are we doing? Coach's choice. Let's say the top 1% of coaches. And Freo. We'll just go Freo. So, the top 1% of coaches, 73% of them own him. 1,398 people in the top 1% own him. That's way higher than I expected. Oh, that's Cooper Simpson. I was going to say. I was like, what the fuck? Here we go. 26%. It's still quite a lot own him. So he's not that much of a pod. You're not going to be gaining too much ground by having him. 500 players in the top 1% have him. I think he's very safe. He's very safe as a pick, though. He's not going to hurt you. Yeah. I think we just have, even if Butters has a bad game again, I think we just kind of have to get him. Just in case, we just know what he's capable of. Surely he's not going to get tagged every week. Maybe he's going to get tagged all the time now. If the Strong's in the back line, if Connor Rozee is in the back line, maybe Butters is going to get tagged every week. Maybe Butters isn't going to be the dream pick that we all think of, but I think he's going to be more like a Dacos. He's going to get this score one week, he's going to get tagged, he'll get you 100 or an 80 or a 90, and the next week he'll get you 160. I think he's in someone in your position. I think it'd be very hard to fade him. Have too many players out, yeah. So that's the thing. I mean, yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? That's the problem. I'm actually reasonable during the buys. This week, we've got, without him playing, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 if Smith plays. There's still that up and down whether Smith plays this week. So coming all the way over here to play might, they said he almost didn't play last week. So I've got 20 if Smith plays, 19 if it doesn't for this round. Round 13. Going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 not playing, 5 hopefully. Replacement here 6. So it should be a full back line. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So I should have heaps the round after. Round 14, Cleary won't be there. Sims will be on the bench. I've only really got Dacos and Roberts out from that round. So that's a pretty good round for me too. Round 15, Gross won't be there, Lindsay won't be there. So really 1, 2, 3, only 3 out that round. And 16's reasonably, it's still not terrible, but it's still not great. You've got Zorko and Whitfield out in the back line. Neither of those guys will be there. And Bailey Smith, so it's actually pretty good. That's why I'm thinking that I can get Jai Caldwell in, because I'm not that bad. It's not much of a disaster. I'm pretty good on all the rounds. But you got to take into account that I've got Cacos and Grosses on the field, who Gross might get me another 8 for all I know. You think Shees will go back to halfback? Oh, fuck, I hope you're right. I'd love him. Pray to the Supercoach gods that Sheasel goes back and Whitfield doesn't get played in that same fucking position he does this week. Like, this is what really has hurt me this year, is paying up for these dudes. I paid up for Whitfield at $5.90, he's come down. I paid up for Sinclair at $5.90, he's gone down. I paid up for Zorko at the beginning of the season, it was like 600k, he went down to almost 500k. We paid up for Dacos at $5.80. So, this is where, and we paid up for Bont at $6.60 or so. So, paying up for players is what's really hurt me. If we add, that's like, say, so 100k there, 100k there, about 50k here, no, say 50, 50, 100, so that's 200k, another 50 here, 250k, I probably would have, and then another 25, probably $300,000 worth of paying up too much for players for me this year. Hopefully I'll learn my lesson for next year. Yeah, I mean, how did you not go? I mean, you have to go Sheasel from his last year's form, though. I had the same sort of dilemmas. I was thinking about, I was going to go cheap. I was going to go one of the cheaper ones. I forget who they were, like the 550s, like their Nazaya or Jordan Clark, and I paid up for both Zorko and Shees as my 2 starting defenders, and I could have just started Nazaya and Clark, saved myself 100k, and then picked up these other guys down later and saved 100k. I mean, hindsight's awesome, isn't it? But hopefully I'll learn my lesson for next year. Only one each big price, except for the ruck, only one really high price player in each line, and search for the value. So I guess it doesn't matter which one you get, because they both play next week. They both don't play next week. Let's have a look at him. Slightly higher break even. Been in some good form lately with a 126. Before that, 63, 103, 97. So this year, if you're looking at last year, you would say Sarong has the highest ceiling. This year, Nazaya seems to have the highest ceiling, the 130s, 120s. I think they're both very, they're both very valid picks. I think you can't go wrong with either of them, to be honest. It's just more of, do you need a defender or do you need a midfielder? You said you were going to swap, send Holmes to the back line. Said you were going to send Holmes to the back line. Then you would be stuck with a, he would be here, I guess, and you would be stuck with Holmes and Sheasel in the midfield. Yeah, he needs, unfortunately with Sarong, he needs to have 40 touches to have a big game. At 30 touches, he's getting you 100, 110, 115, 90 to 110 most weeks. And if he has one of those big weeks where he gets 40 touches, he'll get you 150. He just hasn't had that game yet this year. He probably will. Don't get me wrong, it's only a matter of time until he has that game. But, as I've been saying all this way through, I don't think the coaches bother to watch Seano, but I still think Sarong is the one to tag. Freo seem to lose when people tag Sarong. People tag Brayshaw. Freo still seem to win. So I don't know if coaches are looking at that. It doesn't seem to. The last couple of weeks, they're just like, oh, we're going to tag Brayshaw. We play Supercoach. We're going to tag Brayshaw because we've got Sarong in our team. But I'm thinking that, that it just seems to be the way they go. Sarong just seems to be more damaging in the actual game. But I think they're both very safe. I think Nazia's going to easily score you 100 every week. No worries. And he seems, whenever I watch the St Kilda games, he seems to be everywhere. He does seem to be just everywhere. And I look at him and I'm like, at 515, I'd definitely be snapping up some of these guys. Like I said, he is on my radar for the week after. He's here at, if he's still 515 after that week, 520, I'm a bit the same situation with you with I've got a reasonable amount of back players already. So if I get Rosie, that'll be another defender mid that I've got, and I have to have a few of those in my end team. But yeah, like I'm looking at two guys you've already got. I'm looking at for the round after their bye. They're both still very, very cheap and affordable too. They're very affordable. Might even just be, how much is Sarong? 515, 535. I mean, you make 20k. You make 20k by going the Sire. Alright, McLovin. Yeah, thanks very much for dropping by, mate. All the best this week. Keep up the good work. You've got an awesome team. I love you. I'll take it down now. Anybody else, if you're out there and you want me to have a look at your team and chat about it, just let me know. Just like McLovin just did. But yeah, mate, always good to see you, buddy. And thank you so much for participating and jumping on and having a chat with me on the stream. I really enjoy having a chat with you and everybody else out there. And I may be on tomorrow, maybe not. Otherwise, I'll be back. I'll be putting out my usual videos next week. If whether yourself or whoever else out there, don't forget to give me that like and subscribe and give me a thumbs up and leave a comment down below if you like. But yeah, really appreciate you dropping by, McLovin. Have an awesome day, buddy. And is there anybody out there which would like me to bring up your team on stream and have a bit of a chat, or let me know what your plans are? Like if you missed the beginning of my stream, I'm telling you, I'm going to say it again. I'm going to bring it up again. Beware Campbell Gray. He's a replacement for Noah Bolter. There's a good chance that he doesn't play after this week until round 17. And keep your eyes on this man, Sam Doherty. He is my roughie of the week. He looks like the worst player ever from here to here. 60, scored a 40 in round 8. Gotta love that. Round 11, he gets 118. If only he can keep that role. If he can keep the role of that Seagull halfback player, he is an absolute Supercoach gun. Being the fact that I am very poor, very cash poor, and have a severe rookie problem and a severe trading problem, severe trades problem, will be almost going there. I think I'm going to do it for the community so you guys don't have to. You can see the disaster that happens when I pick Doherty and he gets me 50 every week and I have a meltdown. Won't that be nice for all you viewers out there to see Seano have a meltdown after Doherty plays in the forward pocket and or just gets dropped? But he has the history. I think at that price, I mean, surely Carlton's injuries, if we have a look at Carlton, they're just like destroyed in the injury list, are they not? Boyd, concussion 1 week. Cottrell 1 to 2 weeks. Lockie Cowan, there's a lot of people that are only on 1 to 2 weeks. Jack Savani 1 week. Oh God. So we'll have to look at the team sheets when the team sheets come out. This week, let's have a look. What were the team sheets last week? Team lineups for round 11 for Carlton. So out went Boyd, who's injured, and Silvani, who's injured. Both backmen. In came Sam Doherty for them. I mean, does he not just get dropped again for one of these boys when they come back in 1 or 2 weeks? If they're going to do that, hopefully they have their bye and then they drop him straight away. That'll save me making this disaster pick. But if he can hold his role at 386k, he could be the bargain of the year. And the other one we talked about was Jai Caldwell, who I think also, if you're a bit strapped for cash like me, if you need to go shopping at the Good Sammys, he is a man that has a proven scoring from last year. I'm not too sure what's going on here. Again, in that right midfield role, he can be, I believe he's number 3 on the CBAs. Here's the Doherty pick. Just what we're looking at is it's not the scoring of last year, but you go back to 2023 when he scored basically, look at all these blues from 2022. He's an old man now, but look at Zorko. Zorko's an old man. He can still do it. So why not give the old man another chance? Like 120s, 130s, just 150, like 100. He's capable of. He was one of the first picked in the back line back in the days, and even before that. Look at these 2022. He's got the runs on the board. The question is, does he get the role? Does he get that role? I'm thinking that's. I would love to get. I wish Bolter was just suspended. The fact they still let him play is a bit rough. I think Bolter I wish they just rubbed him out for a couple of months, and then I'd be getting Campbell Gray straight away. The flexibility of him in the forward line is just would be so handy. I mean, maybe we just go there anyway for like a Cooper Simpson. Like, we know Cooper Simpson's not coming back, right? We know he's not coming back. It provides me the flexibility. There's no guarantee that we're getting any other cheap rookies this week. I've done all this research. I've decided not to pick him. Do I just pick him anyway? I wouldn't have to go Clark until next week. I could wait off on Clark and see. I mean, Cooper Simpson's. I guess we can look at it this way, right, crew? Cooper Simpson's not playing for 10 rounds. His injury is a bad AC joint. What are they, 8 to 10 weeks or something like that? They said, Freo. 10 weeks. I mean, maybe we just bite the bullet and we do it, and then he's going to get... We know he'll go up money. We know... I mean, the trades, though. I don't need... Yeah, so maybe we don't need to trade him this week. Maybe we do. It's a waste of a trade if I think he's not going to play. We want to get Trainer off the field, though. We want to... That's why as well. We want to get Trainer off the field. Decisions, crew. Decisions. No, not for Clark, but for Trainer. Okay. Yeah. I know he's not going to play after next week, but how much money will he make this week? So let's have a look at it. So he comes out, hopefully he doesn't get a 38. I mean, I think he had a good week this week, but I don't think he's going to do it every week. Let's just say he gets a 50 next week. He gets a 50, he goes up by 45k. Then I don't think he's going to play around 13, 15 and 16, and then he'll be back in this round. So just assume that this round is this round, and so 45, then he'll be up to 180, then he'll be up to 200. He gives me good flexibility though. Gets me this week. The good thing is, so next week what I can do is I can just trade out Simpson, chuck him on the bench. I've still got Sims to cover, 2 Richmond guys. Geez, getting a lot of Richmond dudes in your team is probably not a good idea. It's probably not a Supercoach strategy you want to go for, getting a lot of Richmond dudes in your team. Even though I even like the McAuliffe. I like McAuliffe as well, so yeah, that's probably not a go. We did talk about that. I think if you've got a lot of trades, McAuliffe is probably almost your best pick this week. Pay up for him. Let him play on your field. He's playing as an inside midfielder. He could potentially get you 90s or 100s and then flog him off in a few weeks' time for, jump up, If I had 20 trades, I'd be doing that for sure. The fact I've got 16 trade or 15 trades if I make this trade. Oh, Sheldrick, I'd be all over Sheldrick. Slim, nice to meet you, Slim. Thank you for joining us. I'd be all over Sheldrick if you could guarantee me he's not going to be the sub. And also, there's on the horizon, Mills is going to get more. They're going to build Mills up a little bit more to the CBAs. He had they just kind of eased him into it last week a little bit, played him on the wing, didn't play him at the time. Plus, Goulden's going to come back, but by the time he comes back, Sheldrick's probably made enough money. Sheldrick, obviously, with Mills being out this week, Sheldrick could definitely score okay. I just really worry about that sub risk. Again, if you have lots of trades, which I don't think many people have lots of trades, it might be worth going there. You're definitely going to get one good week out of him, and he could get you that 100. I would probably prefer, if you've got that extra 60k or say, to go McAuliffe, because I figure he's going to be in that Richmond midfield. But my thoughts on Darcy Moore. Let's have a look at Moore. I haven't really had a good look at him. Let's have a look. I assume, is it Dylan Moore or Darcy Moore? You're talking Dylan Moore from... had a really good season last year, but hasn't been doing much this year. As a sneaky one. I think it's pretty sneaky, but I don't know if I'd be going there. He just hasn't shown that he's got, whether it's the role or whatever this year. If you're talking Dylan Moore, I mean, he just doesn't seem to have that same role as he did last year. I assume you mean that's who you mean. You don't mean Darcy Moore, do you? No, I'd assume you don't mean Darcy Moore. I mean, if he could get his roll back, a bit like the Doherty pick, Slim. If he gets that roll, nice. At a bargain at 378, absolute bargain if he gets that roll. He just doesn't look like he has that roll. Let's have a look at DFS and see what they say he's been doing. Because he pretty much played a straight up midfielder last year, right? Not Dylan Moore. Dylan Moore. Darcy. Why am I calling him Darcy Moore? I mean, yeah, last year, you can't see it off the side, but it says he played these games here. Well, here he says he played the forward pocket, but forward pocket. Supercoach, 100, 90, 90. Wing, he played a bit of wing, he played a bit of forward pocket. Did he kick some goals? Why has he got such good scores? 1-1. I don't know, he seems very up down actually. He seems back. He is back a few years ago when he was like in the wing and the mid. He was getting some really nice scores. I just don't feel like he's got. Where's he? Yeah, he's very wingy. A bit like a chicken. He's very wingy. Very wingy again. Very wingy forward. Even worse. The worst kind of wings. The ones that are up forward. I think it's a bit, for me, it'd be too risky to go there until you see some type of change in form or position. I think it's too dangerous to go there. Toby Green or Tom Green? You mean Toby Green in the forward line? Roller coaster ride, up and down in scores and can be suspended every week. Likes to kick people in the face with the studs of his fucking boots. Toby Green. Tom Green, I'm all over Tom Green. Tom Green's a gun. Tom Green, get on it. Toby Green, he's got the potential to get massive scores, and potential to get 50s, which is exactly what he's done this year. He's gone 127, 140, 49, 124, and then he's gone to 30, he's gone to 50, he's gone to 50, he's gone to 50, got a 74, 127. As a super cheapie, if you can't afford anyone else, I don't mind it. It's a nice pod, but I feel you'd want, if he was getting these scores, like if 74 was his base, and then he was getting these scores, I'd be all over it. I'd be like, from round 0 to round 5, I'd be all over that. The last couple of months have been, he had a month and a half of really shocking scores, and then a 127. But he has to hit form. I think it's a sneaky one. Where did he play last week? Did he play a little bit more midfield time or something, or did he just like get goals on the board? I mean, it's pretty much if he scores goals, he gets a big score, right? Is that how it seems to work for him? So he got a 95. 115. Am I looking? Oh, Tom Green. Like, those scores look too good. Those scores look excellent. No, I'm looking at the wrong player. Yeah, Tom Green. I'm all over that. Wish I could afford a Tom Green. One of the picks I probably should have gone for at the beginning of the season. So 127. He gets how many goals? That's 3 goals and 3 behind. CBA's 56%. Okay. So he's getting reasonable CBAs, but then he did 79% CBAs here. He only got a 54. And he kicked a goal. Kind of weird, right? CBAs, he's only got 13% here. Oh, he kicks 5 goals. That's why he gets a big score. He kicked 3 goals. Kicks 3 goals. So he needs to kick goals. But that's his job, right? That's his job, to kick goals. So you'd assume he's going to get a bag of 2 or 3 every second or third week. They're all risky picks. Hey, you don't have to talk to me about risky picks. I'm thinking about going Sam Doherty. That's about as risky as you can get. And Jai Caldwell, who I don't think is as risky. But there's just not a lot around that 3. Obviously, you need a forward, do you, buddy? You need a cheap forward. Yeah, I mean, it's really tricky, Supercoach, this year. And this week is pretty tricky as well. I'm still saying, unless you're like our friend McLovin or our other friend Paris, who are right up there in the rankings, where are you? Where are you ranked, buddy? Are you and tell us, what are you just trying to move up in the ranks, or you're trying to win your leagues, or what's your? So for me, I'm really tempted. I wouldn't be trading at all this week, except I need money. And I don't like Gray at all because he's only replacing Noah Bolter. I'm basically getting this pick basically knowing that I'm going to have another dead rookie. But hopefully he's going to replace one of the other dead rookies that I already have. That's the sad state of affairs that we've got here. That I'm buying in a rookie that I know is going to be a dead rookie. Nice risky pick. I I think I'm just going to go Doherty, and I'm gonna either have to trade it out for depending on the team sheet. If he's named in the team sheets in the back line, I think I'm just going to go him. Have you looked at McAuliffe in the midfield? I think he's I said people should get on him last week, and I didn't. As usual, do what Seano says, not what Seano does. I said get on this guy last week. He's playing as an inside midfielder at Richmond. Richmond don't have very good players and they're down the bottom, so why wouldn't they continue to play him? He's got a 96, a 97 and a 50. He went up 40k. He went up 42k. Could have got him for 240 last week, and I think he's safe to play. He's a great on-field option, and he's cheap. Fill your team and win your league. So you're kind of the same as me then, Slim. We've got the same plan. I want to win my league with all my mates. Now, I know I've had a reasonably good year, but I've been pretty lucky as an overall score. But I know now that I can see my team isn't that great going forward for going to be overall score. I am going to drop. I know I'm going to drop by the end of the year. I'm going to be happy. Right now I'm at like 5,000. I'm going to be happy if I'm being top 10,000. And don't get me wrong, I'm going to be happy if I'm in the top 10,000. I'm going to be a bit sad that at one point I thought I could have maybe made the top 1,000. But if I can win my league, that's going to make up for everything plus more. Not keen on the bottom sides. That's fine. The only thing is the difference between like a Sheldrick and a McAuliffe is that sometimes when you go these bottom sides, you know they're going to play. So I don't think he's any chance of being a sub. When Short comes back, I don't think he's going to get dropped. So if we have a look, if we look at Richmond, so that's why Gray isn't going to play. Bolter's out for one more week, and then he's back for an early game. Armstrong's out. He's not coming back for a while anyway. Not coming back. Jaden Short's 1 to 2 weeks. Does that affect his role? Well, I assume Jaden Short goes straight back in the back line, and someone like who this week, who they had, where's the Richmond team? So show lineups, list view. So I assume this, someone like a Trainer, a Steely Green, a Caleb Smith, or a Sam Banks all goes straight out, and Short comes in for them. And I assume Caleb, he plays. I'm surprised he's not actually named on the field. I really prefer it when they name them on the field, unless you're Tom Gross. Thanks very much. Minnie McWalter again for my 8 on my field last week. Yeah. I understand what you mean, but sometimes rookies from bad teams get to play. Otherwise, he's a bit expensive though. Like I should have done what I preached last week. I should have got on him last week. I think at 240. I don't mind it. At almost 290, like you're going Sheldrick at 190, who you know is going to play this week, and you know he's probably going to have a reasonable game. You know, he costs less and he's going to go up. I just worry about, like, I don't see anyone coming into Richmond that's taking this guy's spot. I can see a lot of people coming into Sydney who's taking Sheldrick's and taking away CBA's spot is the problem. I talked myself out of doing grey, and maybe I'm talking myself back into it. The fact is, I don't like going early on the other guy. Maybe we will get some 99k rookies next week. You know, maybe Richmond. I'm really hoping for that Richmond, North Melbourne, Eagles, Essendon, all the other teams. Essendon, who else is down the bottom of the ladder? Essendon down the bottom of the ladder. They've been getting smacked a little bit lately. Who's the bottom teams? Who just doesn't give a shit anymore? West, North, Richmond, Port Adelaide. Fuck, really? Port Adelaide are in 15th? Wow. I just wouldn't have called that. Not only at the beginning of the season, but if I didn't look at that now, I would have said, they might be up here around. I mean, let's go around here. Essendon are actually potentially could make the 8. They're on the same points. Melbourne, Carlton, Sydney again. Who would have picked Sydney and Port Adelaide down the bottom of the ladder like this? You know, there's no way. If you had to pick the ladder, if you pick you pick the top 8 that is going to finish at the end of the year, and it's worth like a fortune betting. If you bet and you pick the top 8, or the top, how it is the complete 18 at the end of the year, and you win like couple of 100k or something like that. Who the hell would have picked that? This could be the worst. I've been playing Supercoach since, you guys are going to laugh at me. This is going to show how old I am. Not that I do it very often, but they used to be able to play Supercoach by sending it in the newspaper. Used to be able to, this is crazy, you put in your team before the season, and then about every 4 weeks, you would make some trades and you would send them in. You would like post them into the newspaper, and you would play Supercoach that way. It shows how, I shouldn't tell you guys that, it shows how old I am. I didn't like it very much then. I only played one season. I think I gave up halfway through the season. But this year has been the absolute worst for rookies not making money. Just playing 2 rounds and then either getting dropped, subbed, or getting injured. By far, that's why when I looked at the beginning of this year and I saw these extra trades and extra boosts and the flex position, I'm like, you beauty, this is going to be the best year ever. I normally aim for having 6 trades for the last 4 rounds for the finals of my league. I was like, this year I'm going to be able to trade like a maniac, and I'm still going to be able to have the 6 trades. That's maybe not going to happen. Like, what, we have 40? Was it 40 to start with, and now we got 15? Like, this has been just a crazy year for trading, and I think since we had more and we had the flex, thank God for the flex, but, you know, we all thought we could go a little bit more crazy, and I don't think it. I got a fear if the rookies had have all paid off and hadn't been subbed, and there's no such thing as a sub rule. Hashtag get fucked the sub rule. You missed the paper version. Yeah, you have to be an old bugger like me, Slim. It wasn't much fun, let's be honest. I remember I just tried it one year, and I was like, I don't think I even sent in the first year's worth of trades. I was like, whatever. But, you know, back when I was a young kid and there was no computers, obviously there was computers, but they were probably when I was playing on my Commodore 64. So this has been by far the worst year for rookies not making cash. Like, I wish I could kind of go back and see my last year's team and just see how many, like almost every rookie you got goes to 350k. Like, I've still got bloody Kako is still on 200, Gross on 160, Huswaite on 160, Cooper Simpson on 140. Like, Cleary on 250, like, you wouldn't even sell. In years past at 250, you'd be like, that's not enough money, he hasn't made enough money, I'm not like selling him. This year, I'm like, oh, he's made 250, that seems to be a lot. Seems to be a lot of money, like, I want to get rid of him. We just haven't had the luck. And now at the end of the season is not the time where we're trying to get the primos in. It's not the time where we're going to be able to getting in tons of rookies. Or, I mean, it's always been the case though, at the end of the season, you normally end up with a bit more of a dead bench than you do at the beginning of the season. Just because you do have to take a few more risks on rookies coming in that get shoved back out again. I was trying to think, we had a few mid-season, this mid-season draft's going to be very important for us. Those bottom teams, hopefully, as we looked at, hopefully those bottom teams, I don't think Port will be getting anyone, but West Coast, Melbourne, Richmond, St Kilda, Sydney and Carlton. Carlton might look for a backman, and Essendon might look for a ruck. We need a whole team. Can we get a whole team? North Melbourne could probably do with a little bit of help. So really these three teams, hopefully they just get a 99 rookie and they get a game. And then a few other teams have got some real injury worries like Carlton and Essendon. Essendon have got some real injury worries. Maybe we can pick up a 99 rookie there somewhere. But it's been a rough year. It's been a rough year rookie-wise. Yeah, the worst I can ever remember. And I have heard some people think that the flex, some people who think they're more of a professional player, that they don't like the flex because they think it favors the people who don't study or do the research like some of us do. And I'm actually the opposite. I think the flex position is awesome because it takes off scores like this. It accounts for a bit of unluckiness. If you get unlucky and your player gets injured and he gets a 0 like Simpson does and he's on the field, it doesn't count. Where in years past it counted, and if you're like me and you're going for your league match, it's almost a guaranteed loss. If you've got Simpson on the field without the flex and he gets you a 0 and the other person has a full playing team, that week you lose. You're like, unless there's some miracle, you just lose. And the fact I like it's taken out that side of it. You've got that fallback if there is a disaster. Hopefully some gems, yeah, we can really hope. But even then, a lot of us are going to be so lacking in trades that we're not going to get these gems. That's why I don't want to go Gray this week. I think he's a bad pick. I'm calling it now. He's a bad pick. He's a bad boy. And he takes it down to 15. If I get the Clark fella next week, I go down to 14. Plus 2 other trades next week. 3 trades for me next week. I'll be down to 12. And then potentially 3 trades the week after. Takes me down to 9. And that's where I figure at 9, I hope that I'll have reasonable primo, except for 1 rookie, and I'll be counting that rookie as like the flex. Like if he gets me 50, he gets dropped off for a 40 or something. And that's how maybe in the future, when it gets closer to and this is probably what you should be thinking about as well, to win your league, you're going to need trades. You need trades when it comes to finals. Yeah, I like the flex. I think, and it adds a bit more. I mean, I hate the fact that I've got Marshall sticking it up in there, but I got him what I did. He was cheap and I got him and I was happy with him. But having a having a DPP player here, it's so much fun earlier on the season, moving people around and shaking, and it really helps moving your team around and adding that flexibility too, hence the flex. Yeah, I don't like it, but again, it's his DPP and the fact he's going to get me some money. If I knew there was 99Ks coming, I wouldn't do it. And I still might not do it. And the fact that I've got Trainer here for him, I have to get rid of Trainer. I cannot let Trainer drop another 20k. I can't let him drop another 20k. I either have to get in the Essendon rookie a week early, or I have to get in Gray. My only other option would be so update trade. If I did my own, what I think for other people are a good pick. So if we move Sinclair back and get Kane in the midfield, we get caned in the midfield. So this would make me a lot happier to do this, to be honest. I would feel a lot happier. The problem is I don't have the money to do what I want next week then. So I can go ahead and like pretend that it's next week. So say I do this week. It leaves me 11k in the bank. Next week we do the trade out Reed, go Sheezy back. So then the back line's done. And we get oh no, we don't go Sheezy back, we get Clark. Obviously this is for next week, this is not for this week. So we get Clark next week. Complete trade, confirm. Alright, so that leaves me with 337k, but we lost an on-field player. So I really want to take out a rookie, be someone like a Cleary. I actually want a rookie who's not playing. See, that's the problem, right? I can't chuck this money on anyone. Maybe Kako, who'll be my bench rookie. Kako gets me 550, and I can get a Connor Rosie or a Jason Horne-Francis. I get Jason. Then I'm left with 20k again. If I do the 2 rookie version, I can get 2 players up. I could get him up, and then I could potentially get an Ashcroft or a Lindsay up. Like, if I do this, I can't even afford to do my Doherty plan. I can't even afford to do the Doherty plan. What about if we do the Jason Horne-Francis instead? How much is Doc for starters? Doc is 386, yeah. Even if we get Jason Horne-Francis at 499, that's only 30k extra, makes 50k. So 359. It would have to be a direct swap for Ashcroft. Yeah. You still have to do it as well. Yeah, the good thing here is let's just build the team like it would be then next week. Let's say we don't go Rosie, we just have to go the value. Let's say we just do Doc here. We take this massive risk, and don't get me wrong, I would not be I'm telling you, I think it could be a sneaky good pick, but I wouldn't recommend this to anyone. So we do this, and let's build the team like we're actually going to have it then next week. So we would bring back line completed. Bont comes back on for a useless Gross. Sherry comes back on. Daniel comes back on. So this, with those 2 trades, so the 2 trades of 3 plans, yeah. So that would be the plan of the McAuliffe, Doherty, and Clark. Out Reed, Trainer and Kako. So we're replacing... Basically, I'm still only getting 2 people off who are already on the field for 2 people on who are on the field, which potentially, I think he's going to score more than Trainer. And here is the risky one where this could go either way. He could score a lot less than Reed. And then though, I would still have, how much do we have? So we would have 164k there. So then we got a chance to make another move. And 164k on top of, say, a Lindsay. So mate, what's that? That's 460. That's just low of just anyone you want, right? That's just a little bit low of anybody I really want. What we could do, that would be the Jai move at 429. So we could potentially, how much do we need then? We've got 429, so yeah, 160, we would have about 470, so we could afford him. Who else could we afford at about 470k? 470k, potentially midfielder. I mean, we really need a midfielder. Why I ranked? Here we go. Just round summary. You still got it. 460 mid. Yep. Really, Caleb Daniel is up the top. Interesting. So there's no one here. I mean, I could do something fucking crazy and get Clayton Oliver back in, which seems absolutely crazy to me. And then there's just no one, right? I could still probably jump on Shai Bolton. Depending on how he goes this week, he's probably going to go up money this week though. 55 break even, so I won't be able to afford him. Like, there's just nobody, right? There's just nobody in that price range that we want as a midfielder. You know, So I'm really stuck for decisions as well. How much do we say? 160. So I can put the 160 and Fopper on top of Ashcroft, and that'll put 560. So then I could have a Primo here. Bench is still looking pretty rough. But we got McAuliffe who can get a decent score. So potentially Primo, who knows, reasonable. Replace with another Primo, which whoever that might be, the Rosie, whoever we wanted. The Butters, maybe, I mean, that'd be the plan, right? The week after, save that money and then turn Ashcroft into Butters. So then that's how our team would look. Backline would look like that. Bont, Brayshaw, Dacos, Marish, Ashcroft, Doherty. No, not Ashcroft, that would be Butters, Doherty, Lindsay, McAuliffe, those two, Smith, Petrarca, Warner, Rackety, and then Cleary and Lindsay, still one of those. I need to upgrade one of those guys, hopefully by going down to a 99 rookie. So take another trade, that's 12, yeah, then 3 more trades down to a 99 rookie, and then up a Cleary or a Lindsay, probably Cleary because I think Lindsay has the higher scoring potential, and then that's how we sit, and we would just have to ride that team, and that would be 9 trades, and then I think I come out of the buys with 9 trades with 8 rounds to go, try and get maybe 1 more rookie off the field by doing 1 down or 2 down and 1 up, and that leaves me 6 trades for the finals. I think with the flex, maybe you don't need the full 6 trades this year. Maybe 1 trade per week for the finals is enough. Maybe if I plan it so I've got 4 trades in round 20, when it comes to round 20, I want to have one trade for each week, basically in case of injury. Yeah, I mean, they're all great picks, right? I mean, I went Bont early, which I didn't think it would hurt me that much, but it's probably going to hurt me about 50k. And with I'm such a poor boy that it probably wasn't the best idea to pay up for Bont. I just wanted him. Again, every once in a while I have these moments where I'm like, oh, I'll just pay up for I just want that player and I'll get him. That should finish your team. Dacos, Butters and Bont will finish your team. That's nice. Like, you're a lot closer to being finished than me. That's good. I'm like still thinking that players like him, or even if this Doherty pick can be Jai Caldwell, and I can still get that done. Like, so if I don't go McAuliffe, it can be Caldwell. The only thing with McAuliffe is I know he's going to make some money, so I can potentially do him a 1 down or a rookie down to him up. So let's say if I do the McAuliffe thing, it gets 60, he's 340, give him a little bit more than that, and then he has his bye, we keep him through his bye, we're not too bad on that round, we're pretty good on that round, and he comes out, say he can get to 400, let's just say he's got a couple of 90s in a row, he smacks another 90, which means he'll get another 10k on top of that. He would go up actually like 50k, 48k, and then the week after he goes up another, so he's now worth 336, and then the week after he goes up another 15 or 20k. Hard to say no to the Bont. He is the Bont. That's exactly right. He's the Bont. I mean, we know, even with this role playing a little bit more forward, the only thing is, it's hard to say no, but I could have gone either his two mates in the midfield. I could have gone the Libba or the Ed Richards, who scored more than him and were literally 100k cheaper than him. It's not smart to play Supercoach with your head. Let's face it, at the end of the day, it's a mathematical game. It's value. You got to play Moneyball. If you've seen that Brad Pitt Moneyball and Jonah Hill movie Moneyball, that's exactly how you should play Supercoach, and that's how you win Supercoach. And I just haven't done that this year. I've just paid up for players that I wanted, thinking that thinking that the points were gonna make up for it, and they just don't. Two reasonable players or two cheaper fallen primos are always better than one super high price primo. Even if the Bont comes out and scores me 160 every week, it's probably still, but it would have been that extra 100k on the top of somebody else if I had got an Ed Richards and a Jordan Dawson instead of a Bont and a Levi Ashcroft. That might have been the way to go. And in the end, I've got, if one fails, the other one can always kick off. I still expect Bont to average his 129 the rest of the season and have some massive scores. It's only 3 goals and 30 possessions away from a 200 score. It's there. The problem is now that I went him early and everybody else is going to pick him up for 50k. I figured that he might go up and that I would already have him, but he's going to go down, so it actually benefits everybody else. Moneyball is the way to go. That's how you win Supercoach. You play Moneyball, and I'm going to write, I might even do, I don't know if I'll do it next week or the week after, but we'll do a video where it's a mid-season review, and we're going to take some notes on what to do and what not to do next season. And we're going to write it down, and then next season when we pick our team at the beginning of the season, we're going to look at the notes and we're going to remind ourselves, this is how you screwed the pooch last year. Don't do it again this year. And basically it's going to go something along the line is stick with rookies and guns. We say it every year, and then the mid prices jump up and we go the mid prices and we get punished. Admittingly, this year our mid prices in the forward line kind of worked out for us to a point, but definitely the mid prices, like myself, who had Short, I had Perryman. I think in the midfield, we had Finn Callahan, but we sold him, which would have been all right if we had kept him. there were some mid prices that really paid off this year. If you had kept Finn, he really paid off. If you had Shearer, he really paid off. Obviously, I didn't start with Bailey Smith, which was a big mistake. Caleb Daniel was still doing great. So a few of them worked out, but next year's plan is no more than one mid-pricer in each line, and probably no more than one 600k player in each line, or one really high price player in each line, except the ruck. Locking this ruck in for next year. Just locking it. I don't give a shit if they're both 700k at the end of the year. I'm locking it in. I'll work around that ruck. And as we saw this year, one of the reasons my team was doing so well, purely captain choice, purely having Gawn and getting him as my captain each week has helped me. And if I had Sherry in earlier on in the season, again, or got him at that lower price. Another one, we paid $6.30 for Sherry, where we could have got him at $5.50 for TDK if we had decided to do a sideways at the right time. That was a big miss. We'll go through and we'll record the misses and the hits, which we did, what we should have done and what we didn't. But yeah, I think we might do that either next week or the week after. Yeah, and once again, anyone, if you want me to show your team and go through your team, just let me know your team and your rank, and we can always do that. How long have we been going now? Well, it's almost 11 o'clock. Probably won't go too much longer. We've done our million options for trades. I'm telling everybody else not to go grey, but we still might just go there. What if we just go McAuliffe out and Gray in? This is purely the money. This is purely Moneyball style. Well, not really, because Gray's just not going to play. Gray is just not going to play. Complete trade, confirm. So if we did that, this is next week's too, crew. This is not for this week. The only trade, they're only doing the one rookie down this week. So that would leave us the team line up like this, where we would need another. We would have the 300k. We would put how much? How much we got? 331. The problem is I can't really afford to take any of these. Can't take Ashcroft or Lindsay off the field without just a straight promotion up, because I've got no rookies to cover. There's nobody. Having them, at least I know they can get a reasonable score. If I put a rookie on the field, it's like, ooh, disaster. So, can't have a Huswaite on the field, can't have him on the field. Definitely don't want Gross. Well, we should really start calling him Gross on the field. I don't want Sims on the field. So this 300k is going to be spent anyway on one of these guys going up. So one decent thing about the McAuliffe pick that at least I'll have a cheapo playing dude. Yeah, it's rough. I really don't know what I'm going to do. Your team's almost full. Yeah, I did way too many. I got rid of Rosie, I got rid of Jason All-Francis, and I got rid of Finn Callahan. All should have stuck with all of them. And I got rid of Sam Powell-Pepper, who's a little bit different, but that's a potential 3 to 4 trades more than I have now. And Sam Powell-Pepper is an extra couple of 100k in the bank, which I don't have now. And even though I would have been a bit struggling this round, if I do have Horn Francis and Rosie still in my team, I would have had quite a lot of issues in this team. Obviously I wouldn't have got Bont then, but I still think we would have got through this round. It would have been a rough round. We might have only just been able to field 18 players on this round, but the next round coming out, we would have had a stack of trades and potentially some more money to deal with. So I think I tried hard not to sideways trade. I don't mind the Finn Callahan one, to be honest. I used I just did it wrong. I should have got rid of Finn and got in Bailey Smith. Instead of I got rid of Jason Hall-Francis and I got in Bailey Smith. I don't mind the getting rid of Finn, even though he came good in the end. He kept all those guys. Yeah, well done, buddy. Well, nice holding. I kind of guess I thought we had the extra trades this year. Everything was going to be fine. Everything wasn't fine. Everything wasn't fine. Let's get rid of the sub rule. Everything would be better. Risky mid-price value, yeah. That's, I mean, the problem this year kind of worked and it kind of didn't. I think last year I'd even be more tempted next year to go rookies and guns with a bit of a bankroll at the beginning, you know. Instead of spending all your money, we say this now, but it never happens. Instead of spending all your money except for like 50k or whatever, having 300k or 400k that first round to potentially jump up to those mid prices, wait and see which ones are the disasters or not. Maybe. This is gonna... I'm so tempted to do this and it's gonna so punish me. I think we'll probably chicken out and this will probably be Jai Caldwell, I think. But if this paid off, it could be the pick of the year. It's just not gonna pay off. It's just not gonna pay off. But I don't know, where are they on the ladder? Is there any chance that they believe he's in the best team? I mean, he's been playing VFL. Why has he been playing VFL? I mean, I guess mathematically they could make the 8, but yeah, it turned out 50-50. I think, though, we could have seen that. I mean, short, I should have just not gone short earlier on in the season. And, I mean, Perryman fooled us all, but that was another one that kind of, didn't work out. And a few others, like Peatling, was a disaster that came good. A lot of them actually came good. Problem is you don't know they're coming good. But, we do what we do. We live and I'd say we live and we learn, but I play this game every year and I don't seem to learn. I don't know about you guys. I'm one of these. I must be pretty thick. Do the same thing every year and don't win. And then do the same thing the next year and wonder why we don't win again. All the cash cows to turn over with boosts in round 6. Yeah, I think that's smart. And all the fallen guns, like this year there were a lot of fallen primo price guys, which I avoided, like the 550, the 500, the 550 mark, where I think those next year you just go those guys. And you wait for the big, get one in each line, get one crate. If you want the Bont, fine. If you want Zorka or Sinclair and they're 600k, fine. I don't like paying up for anyone in the midfield. Obviously next year Bailey Smith is not going to be available as a mid. Petrarca may or may not be available as a mid. Warner is probably not going to be available as a mid. Raggedy he will be a mid only. So he'll be a mid only. They won't be available as a forward. He still could be mid forward because he changed the middle of the year. He's probably going to be a mid only. Rankinine's probably going to be, he might be a mid only. So Daniel is obviously going to be a back. This is probably the easiest year for picking forwards that we've had in a long time. Usually the forward line is a disaster, and I wouldn't be surprised if we have very few DPPs. One good thing about the forward line this year is all these DPPs. I think that's a good plan though. And the dodgy thing is so I watched an interview with last year's winner, and last year's winner said exactly that. He said, "I'm not buying any 600k players in my team." He's like, "I have a rule. No 600k players except for maybe the ruck or whatever." He's like, and especially not in the forward line or anything like that. In the back line, he's like, maybe one. Otherwise, all his players were 550s to say. He went the value early on. And I guess if the value doesn't work, you can always get rid of them. But if it works, great, they've gone up money and you've done well. And then those primos, we've seen this year, they come down. No matter how good they are, whether they're the Bont or the Zorko, whatever, especially the midfielders, they come down. The rucks, I'm locking in the rucks. Like I said, I don't care. If they're 700k each, they're 700k each. Maybe if they're 800k each, that might be a different story. But it might just still be worth it. Even if they're 800k each, it might be worth it. Just put an extra rookie on the field instead of a mid-pricer or a primo, and use them as your captain and vice captain every week, and that gets your score going. You know, if you got a guaranteed captain, vice captain every week, you know, that's going to help you out. All right, let's put the team back how it should look. It's looking a bit crazy here. It's looking a bit crazy. Okay, trainer has to go. Who are we going to go early on? I wish someone could just say, Seano, you know, he's going to play. Lindsay and Kako. Vice Captain Brayshaw. That's my Brayshaw into Gorn this week. That's my captain choices. Predicted to get 1949. I mean, I'll be anywhere around 2000. I think it'll be pretty nice, reasonable score this week. Just that one decision, hey crew. Trainer for who? McAuliffe, Clark, or Gray? McAuliffe, Clark, or Gray? Do we go the rookie, a high price rookie that will play and that we can have on the field, but costs a lot? Do we go a week early on the rookie that looks most potential to make the most money in a short amount of time, but could get injured? Or do we go the rookie who we know, almost guaranteed, Gray, who's not going to play in rounds 13, 14, 15 and 16? Decisions. It's just decisions. I'm so tempted just to skip the Gray pick, knowing that he's not going to play in those rounds unless Richmond have some injuries, and go Clark and hope that we get a 99 rookie, and then use that 99, because if we get a 99 rookie in round 13, a 99k rookie, he'll be worth more than Gray will be at round 17 anyway. Yeah, it's like tough calls. It is a tough call. $34k. This moving trainer, I would be 100% keeping trainer this week if he didn't have that forward move. It pisses me off, the coaches. Coaches pitch you off. I've still got it. Like, I sent it to myself on Facebook. I'll see if I've got it to show you guys. I sent it to myself, which is what I always do. This was surprising, right? Did you guys see this? Champion Data's top 10 worst kicks so far in 2025. Liam Baker from the Eagles, awesome. The dude we got in. Watching the games, he doesn't look that bad. Honestly, I'm watching the games. I'm struggling to see this. Number 2 is Luke Trainer. Again, surprising. Why are you putting someone who's such a bad kick in the forward line? Do you think this guy's going to kick you goals if you put him in the forward line? Jordan Dawson, Hewitt, Duggan. Oh, good. Eagles have got 2 of the top 5. Nice. Finn Callahan, Simpson, Saligo, Roberts, and Dacos. I'm pretty shocked when I saw this, to be honest. Considering I watch all the Eagles games, I don't actually think Liam Baker's not that bad. Do I think we should have got him in? That's a different story. Do I think he's the worst kick in the AFL? That's a surprising stat. Whatever stat they're doing to say that, it's very surprising. Whether it's on the clangers or whatever. Trainer, Dawson, Hewitt, you know, some of these, Hewitt was number one. He was leading all midfielders at one stage. Duggan's always been a bit rough, but Finn Callahan, we knew he wasn't scoring that well at the beginning of the season, but surely he's cleaned it up a bit. That's just surprising. It was surprising. Yeah, I mean, obviously you see that champion datas can be a bit warped at times, but it was very surprising. So why you would put Trainer in the forward line if he's one of the second worst kick in the AFL? I don't know. Why, coaches? Why do you do this to us? But I still think whatever I do, money is such an issue that we have to trade Trainer. He's a must trade. Everybody else I can hold, not a problem. You know, Gross, we bought him in last week and used our boost to do it, and he lost 10k. That was awesome. There, I wasted money there too. If I hadn't have done that, I would have had an extra 40k or whatever of getting a low price rookie this week. So really for me, there's one trade this week. That's it. Again, I'm recommending, unless you're going for the top 100 or the top score, the top 10, don't be trading this week primos. Don't be getting primos into your team. Just wait. Trade out your rookies. Trade if you like Gray. If unlike me, you think that, like I'm telling you right now, he is the direct replacements for Bolter. But if you think Richmond are going to have an injury or he played good enough last week to hold his spot, when Noah comes back, which I can't see happening without an injury, it's not what the records show, it's not what the info shows. Then maybe Gray, or maybe you go Angus Clark, and then just pray that he doesn't get injured next week like every other rookie on the bubble, or it doesn't get dropped, or it doesn't get subbed. I mean, if he got dropped or subbed after kicking 3 goals on debut, I'd be pretty rough on the kid. Pretty rough. I mean, it's not like Essendon are killing it. I mean, they potentially can make the 8 though. They're injury ravaged, so surely the kid, gets a game for the next few games. You need someone who can score goals, and he got 3. You win games by winning goals. You win games by winning goals. That doesn't seem to make sense. By kicking goals. So surely if you've got a kid you see him kick 3 goals on debut, surely you don't drop. You give him a chance for a few more weeks, wouldn't you? You get a few more weeks to have a look and see if he can kick a few more goals. I mean, the downside is with Clark is that he could easily drop a 30 or a 40 if he comes out and kicks no goals this week. But I did have a look. All right, let's have a look. I looked at his VFL action, and what I like about it, Angus Clark, that's what it is, isn't it? Angus. So what I like about it, right, is that he's quite a high possession getter. He's not one of these pocket players that gets 5 possessions and never touches the ball. So he's got 19 possessions here. 19 again. Sorry, 18. 19. 17. So it looks like he does a little bit of work. Tackles, he's 3 tackles, 2 tackles. 2 tackles. He doesn't mind a bit of a tackle. Well, that's way down. But he had 8 marks, 6 marks, 7 marks, 8 marks. So he loves a mark. He's a good marker of the ball. last week he had 84% on ground, time on ground. 60 to win at 69%. Contested possessions, he got a couple of contested possessions. So, you know, he seems to move around a bit. He seems to be, you know, he might not get this trainer score or this Tom Gross score where they played in the pocket. He still might scrape you through a 40 or a 50 on a bad day just by getting 17, 18 possessions and a couple of tackles and a couple of marks. So I think as long as he doesn't get injured this week or next, can't see him being the sub. That'd be really rude. So I still think I might go there, and then next week, the week after, we just pray that there's a rookie, a 99k rookie, or another rookie for us to look at, and we skip over Gray, and we just knowing that Noah Bolt is going to be back and he's probably going to get dropped, and we just pray that another rookie appears. And if that other rookie doesn't appear, then we're just going to have to deal with it. We're going to have to deal with it, and we might not be able to make the moves that we want to to do next week. But like we said, trying to beat my leads. I figure that I'm probably going to do okay. You can see I can get around about. Actually, it doesn't in the buy rounds. You can look down here and it tells you whether it thinks it's going to win. You're going to win your leagues or not. But without everyone having their team set up properly for each buy, yeah, it doesn't count too much. But I do like my buy situation. There's no buy where I have like 18 players. I think the minimum amount of players that I have on field, including the rookies, the rookies that are playing now, if they continue to play, I think like 20, maybe 19. I think is the lowest that I'll have. This week could be 19 if Bailey Smith didn't play. 1, 2, 3. We'll have somebody here, so it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So there's 20. Bailey Smith is out, makes 19. 1, 2, 3. The full back line, so we'll have 6 here. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So heaps of that round. 14. And then you can see, when you start looking at these rounds, you know, Cleary's not going to be there. I'm not going to have to worry about him not being there. So this round is only still the same. Robert Trainer's not going to be there. So it'll be, but there'll be, Essendon play the last one. So 1, 2, we really only have 3 people out. Sims won't be on the field. So that round's a good round. By the time it gets to this round, people I'll be looking to trade out Lindsay, if possible. I might have to keep him as one of my last options on the bench, but, you know, so that round is pretty good too. We're just looking at these 2 guys in the forward line. We won't be traded. So 1, 2, 3, 4 players that'll actually still be in the team. Don't have the cash to get rid of Marriage. Don't have the cash to get rid of him. And 16, I got 1, 2. If we get Jai Caldwell, he'll be here, so there'll still be 3 out. Or we'll be down here. There'll still be 3. Won't be here. 4. So as for players go, we're not bad in the buys. We're dead for cash. We're 2 premiums short of everybody else. But as for the buys go, we seem that we're going to get through it pretty easily. We just hope that we get some rookies so we can upgrade, so we can upgrade the Lindsays and the Ashcrofts. Ashcrofts will be fairly easy. We don't need to put much money on Ashcroft. He plays that last round too, so we can keep him through if we want. I think when is Melbourne's round 15, so really, I really want to try and get rid of Lindsay before Ashcroft. and that's a round where I've got more out than most others. So I'd really be tempted if I could make him into Doherty, and the Doherty pick isn't a big stinking turd, which it could be, then then it could be the way to go. What do you reckon, crew? Anyway, have I bored you enough already? Always nice chatting though with the community. I know it's in the morning. If you're watching this in the future, thanks for re-watching it. I know it's going to go on for a long time. If you're watching by now, I really appreciate it because you've been here forever. Those people that had a bit of a chat with me, Slim and McLovin, thank you so much. I love why I do, and Thomas, I love doing these live streams for the interaction with you guys. Having a bit of a chat. I mean, it's what I do with my friends. We all love to chat Supercoach. Unfortunately, I don't get to hang out with my friends very much because they all have young families and stuff. But when we do, we love to talk to Supercoach. And so you guys are kind of my new best mates where I can get out with Supercoach. And so instead of me sitting on my ass here watching TV, I get to have a bit of a chat and talk about the game. AFL, the game I love, and the Supercoach, which I really enjoy. And I really feel privileged that you guys come and have a bit of a chat and take the time to have a chat to me as well. And hopefully I can help you out sometimes, and I'm sure you guys help me out a lot as well. So don't forget to give me that like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below, even if it's to say nice video, Seano, or you're absolutely crazy mad for thinking of going Doherty. I'd really be interested to know. Like, I haven't heard anybody else say that. I think that's a crazy pick. Yeah, thank you, Slim. You have a great day too. We're going to call it now. We've been on for a long time, so there's still 7 people watching. So thank you so much. Even if you're having what we call a lurk, you're just watching in the background without talking, I really appreciate that as well. I won't say I'm a bit of a lurker too. That sounds a bit dodgy, but I do really appreciate everyone being here. I hope everyone has an awesome day, and keep an eye out for next week's videos. We'll have a round review. Hopefully it's better than last week's. A trade video, and then we'll go live as well. We might even, if we're bored and we want to have a chat with you guys and see us around, we might go live tomorrow as well. Maybe not. Keep an eye out for that. So everyone have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you all soon. See you then.